Boxing TV Studios.
Gracias.
Ranger. Information may cause
Gracias.
hates or bias casual.
Por si necesito algo, abre la puerta ahí por si necesito algo.
The host that gives
Por
you
si necesito
facts
algo.
with very little feelings. From the city of the greatest of all, Muhammad Ali, the man who floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
Louisville, Kentucky. It's showtime.
What's going on, people? Welcome once again to Raw Boxing TV. Tonight is a very special night. We have with us a very special guest, heavyweight contender, Mr. Frank Sanchez. ¿Cómo te encuentras en esta noche?
Hola, me encuentro bien. Aquí en casa.
Primeramente, muchas gracias por estar aquí. First of all, thank you very much for being here with us tonight. Gracias. Ok, perfecto. Bueno, first of all, man, vamos a hacer la entrevista hoy. Tú cómodamente. Yo traduzco todo sin ningún tipo de preocupación. Let's do the interview tonight. You just speak your native language. No worries. I will translate everything, and hopefully we have a good interview. First things first. Lo primero que todo, mi hermano, talk to us y dilo cómo va el pie. So talk to us and let us know how is your foot doing and what happened. ¿Y qué pasó con el pie?
Nada, aquí estoy de recuperación. Ya el pie está bastante bien. Tuve una pequeña rotura en el pie que se me alteró, se me hinchó. Basaba el entrenamiento, en los desplazamientos, moviéndome, haciendo sparring con Saúl. Tuve una pequeña lesión, pero ya gracias a Dios me atendí con el doctor, con el ortopédico, y ya el pie se ha recuperado, está bastante bien.
Awesome. So basically, he said right now he is at rest. He is in recuperation. During the training for his last bout, doing some sparring with Canelo Alvarez, he twisted his foot and suffered a minor injury. His foot completely swelled up, and so the importance of the last card, he still had to fight with a swollen foot, but he is on the road to a very healthy recuperation, and so far everything is good. Frank, tú inicias tu carrera como profesional contra el rival Justin Thornton en el 2017, ¿correcto?
Sí.
¿Te acuerdas? Porque eso hay veces que no
Sí,
siempre no se
olvida muchas veces.
Ahora, you started your career with Chris Thornton in 2017. Cuéntanos tu experiencia cuando te estás preparando en el camerino, que te están enredando la mano, que en tu mente ya sabes que no es lo amateur, que vas a entrar a un cuadrilátero profesional. Muchos boxeadores tienen diferentes maneras de sentirse. ¿Qué te pasó por la cabeza? ¿Tenías nervios? So you're in the locker room getting ready for your first professional fight. It's no longer the amateurs as you have been accustomed to. Talk to me and tell us, what was your feeling like? Were you nervous that night? What were you feeling? ¿Qué estabas sintiendo?
Bueno, nada, en el camerino, cuando ya me encuentro preparándome para pelear, primero me relajo, ¿sabes? Y decirte, los peleadores siempre estamos concentrados, siempre estamos, existe miedo escénico, ¿sabes? Que es como te pone un poco nervioso de cómo vas a salir, de cómo va a ser la pelea, y tú siempre quieres salir bien, ¿me entiendes? Entonces, pero es normal, uno se va acostumbrando, ya no está acostumbrado, siempre está arriba del ring. Y yo me pongo siempre con mi audífono, mi musiquita, y estar nada más enfocado en mi pelea, en las cosas que se va a hacer, el plan que se haya hecho en el entrenamiento contra el rival o el oponente que se va a pelear. Solo eso.
Okay. So basically his answer is, in the build up to his debut as a professional, he wasn't really nervous. He was just another day. He's basically what he did was try to remain focused for his opponent. He put on some headphones, listened to some music to relax. He wants to focus on basically on the task at hand, and pretty much it. Not too nervous. He was just relaxed and just anxious and focused and ready to get the fight done. Ahora, llevas tu carrera profesional. Cuéntanos cómo fue ese enlace en la cual te juntas con Eric Reynoso. Cuéntanos cómo fue el contacto, cómo se da ese contacto. So you have started your professional career, and some way along the way you get hooked up with Reynoso and Canelo. Talk to us and tell us, how did that happen? How did that came about?
Bueno, nada, yo me encontraba aquí entrenando aquí en Miami con Eric Tigre Castaño, un gran entrenador. Y entonces tuvimos varias peleas y me fue bastante bien con Eric. Y me llaman mis representantes, mis manejadores, y me dicen que o sea, ya Eddie me había visto, Reynoso me había visto las peleas que yo había tenido anteriormente. Entonces él se dio cuenta que podía hacerme campeón. Entonces mismo al habló, se contactó a mis manejadores y le ofreció ayudarme y le dijo que me fuera para el team de Canelo, que él veía en mí que me podía ser campeón del mundo. Y nada, yo decidimos el equipo y decidimos ir para allá arriba, para que teníamos las puertas abiertas ahí. Y al principio pensé, como todo, uno piensa, y coño, yo voy para allá arriba con esa gente, ¿sabes? ¿No? Otras cosas. Y yo pensé que al principio me sentí un poco tímido, pero nada, me recibieron con las manos abiertas y me recibieron bien, como me tienen como uno más de la familia y me tienen toda la atención y mi tiempo en el entrenamiento ahí, todo bien con esa gente allá arriba en el campo de entrenamiento.
So basically, his answer was he started his career with a trainer called Tigre Castaño, which is a very good trainer. And during the course of his career, he gets in contact with his manager. And while talking to his manager tells him, "Hey, listen, Eddie Reynoso has seen your fights previous to that, and he has contacted us, and he is interested in having you as one of his fighter. He believes he can make you into a world champion, and it would be a very good move, basically, if you were to join his team because he truly believes that he can make you a world champion." After that, he considered doing it. At first, he was pretty scared, timid, because it was a new move. He didn't know the team. He would have to make that jump all the way out to California. And so, with that being said, he did. He made the jump. But when he got there, he realized that it wasn't as bad as he thought. Eddie Reynoso and Canelo welcomed him with open arms, and that helped him to feel at ease and basically blend into the team a little better. And so, they've been working. So, cuando entras con Eddie Reynoso, obviamente tú vienes con una escuela de boxeo puro, boxeo técnico, que es el boxeo aficionado, como se implementa en nuestra isla de Cuba. Lo primero que te dice Eddie Reynoso es qué cambio necesitas. So you join Eddie Reynoso, and when you join him, obviously you go over there. You're still in the transitioning parts of your career from the amateurs, as it is displayed in our island of Cuba, to the professional. What are the first changes that he tells you he needs to make in your game to adapt to the pro game? ¿Cuáles fueron esos primeros cambios que?
Bueno, cuando yo llegué ahí, que empezamos los entrenamientos, Eddie me sentó y me dijo, mira, aquí lo siguiente, tú sabes boxear, tú eres tremendo boxeador, tú vienes de la escuela cubana y todo el mundo sabe que lo de la escuela cubana es una de las mejores. Tú sabes boxear, tú no hay que hacer contigo, hay que trabajar pocas cosas. Solo que lo que hay que trabajar es en base a tu pegada, algunos ajustes que hay que hacerte en la preparación, pero del boxeo, la técnica, tú tienes toda la técnica, nada más es perfeccionar algunas cosas, algunos detalles que te faltan, y principalmente ganar un poco de libra y la fortaleza, porque los heavyweight mayormente los primeros 10 son muy pesados, pesan 280, 260 libras. Y yo llegué a ese campo de entrenamiento pesando 218, 220 libras. Entonces me dijo, nos vamos a fortalecer un poco, a ganar un poco más de libras. Y ahora me encuentro en 230 libras. Y me dijo, a partir de ahí, de las libras que tú vas teniendo y la fortaleza, va a venir saliendo tus resultados. Tú no vas a perder tu velocidad, porque tú eres rápido naturalmente. Natural, yo soy rápido.
Okay.
Solamente era hacer más ejercicio de fuerza y algunos detalles que algunos ajustes que se hicieron ahí, y por eso más me puso con Saúl, a moverme con Saúl para ganar más confianza, alguna experiencia que él tiene, más experiencia en el profesional, y así va avanzando todo allá arriba.
Perfecto, perfecto. So basically, the answer to my question to him is he said once he first met up with Eddie Reynoso sits him down and tells him, listen, basically, I don't have to teach you how to box. Nobody needs to teach you how to box. You are a very, very good boxer. You're very fast. And we all know that the Cuban school is one of the best boxing in the world. So the only thing we need to do is make a few adjustments to your game. But basically, we don't need to change anything nor teach you how to box. And that is the reason that Eddie Reynoso started putting him in there with Canelo, just to let him make him a little more comfortable with the movements in there, and Canelo's speed. And so basically, he's just capping it up, working little by little every day, and they're making it, man. They're making it. Ahora, en esta última pelea que estuviste, que fue una de las, se puede decir una de las peleas, aparte del gordito, el otro gordito con el que peleaste, que
Sí, yo
tuviste,
Paco.
ajá, fue una pelea súper interesante porque peleaste con un joven, que aquí para agregar los anuncios, peleaste con este joven aquí, que la pelea básicamente fue bien interesante. Obviamente nadie sabía de tu fractura en el pie, pero fue una pelea que por lo general agregó mucha experiencia. Basically, on your last fight, you saw this gentleman right here. Nobody knew about the injury you had on your feet leading up to the fight that happened in the training camp. And so this was one of your most interesting fights. I want to know de esa pelea. ¿Qué notaste en ese oponente a pesar de tus limitaciones física y cuándo fue que viste el knockout? Talk to us about that fight. What did you notice aside from your physical limitations with your feet, and when did you saw the knockout?
Bueno, esa pelea, como mucha gente sabe, no era un oponente que no tenía tampoco tanta condición, las cualidades para durar muchos rounds, ¿entiendes? Pero a pesar de mi lesión, que nadie, la gente no sabía, ¿entiendes? Sí, no sabía. No me pude preparar bien, pero era la oportunidad que tenía de pelear en esa cartelera tan importante que me iba a abrir mucho camino. Y entonces, nada, ahí hicimos el trabajo que se había planeado. Y nada, salió el knockout. Se estaba esperando que saliera al cuarto, quinto round, lo más, pero salió en el séptimo round. Lo pude noquear y no se paró ya.
Awesome. So basically, he said, once he got into the ring, this was an opponent that didn't have enough class to, go a lot of distance with him. But obviously, due to his physical limitation, he still had to fight him. This was a great opportunity, regardless of the injury. But he saw the knockout, he took it, and basically that was it. That's all she wrote, and so that's all pretty much. Ahora, una preguntita. Cuando sales de Cuba, ¿cómo fue que saliste de Cuba? ¿Y qué te hizo, obviamente, aparte de ciertas razones obvias, qué fue lo que en realidad ya le puso la tapa al pomo que te dijo, tengo que desertar? When you left Cuba, obviously for obvious reasons, what was the major reason that basically enlightened you and you said, okay, this is it, I can't take it no more, I gotta desert, I gotta leave?
Bueno, la razón por la principal que salí de Cuba fue cuando la clasificación de los Juegos Olímpicos en Brasil, bueno, yo me gané el puesto para la Olimpiada. Le gané a Arilando Sabón, que era el número 1 en la división 91 kilos, que era yo allá. Y entonces, por cuestión de sobrino de Félix Sabón, cosas de Cuba, decidieron llevarlo a él. Entonces, a mí me dijeron, no, tiene que esperar 4 años más para la Olimpiada 2020, para que tú estás jovencito todavía. Yo no tengo tiempo para esperar. El tiempo pasa y entonces el tiempo en el deporte es cortico. Entonces tú tienes que aprovechar la oportunidad cuando tú estés bien, te sientas bien y tú te ganes tu puesto para tú salir a ese evento. Yo me lo gané, le gané en el Playa Girón Después le gané ahí en la finca, hicieron una eliminatoria, también le gané. Y decidieron llevarlo a él, y entonces yo me decepcioné con eso. Y ya después de que pasó esas cosas, yo me decidí, ya tengo que irme a pelear profesional, porque para esperar 4 años más para la otra Olimpiada, no, me iba a pasar mucho tiempo y ya el tiempo es oro, en esto el tiempo es oro.
Supuesto. So basically, he said that, you know, the one thing that just caused him to just leave, he made the decision, I gotta go. Basically, he was fighting to qualify for the Olympics, to be a representative of Cuba on the 2016 Olympics in Brazil, I believe it was. And he does everything. He fights Erislandi Savon, which is the nephew of Felix Savon, which is the guy that Anthony Joshua fought. And he beat Erislandi Savon. After he beats Erislandi Savon, they did another tournament called Playa Girón. He beats him there as well. Then they did an eliminator in La Finca, beats him there as well. But because he is the nephew of a 3-time Olympic gold medalist for Cuba, due to politics, they decided to take Erislandi Savon to represent Cuba instead of him. And the excuse he was given was, you're still young, you can always come back, you can always wait till 2020. And he basically told him, listen, time is gold, and I cannot wait for 2020. And so that's when he made the choice to leave the island. ¿Cómo saliste de Cuba? How did you leave the island?
Bueno, salí como mayormente la mayoría de los cubanos salimos por lancha, por vía marítima.
Basically left the island in the same way that most Cubans do. He went to the waters and left. And just to remind you people that you're here, hang on tight. I'm going to be opening up the link in the live. I'm going to be posting the link pretty soon so you guys can come in and post one single question yourself. You will answer, and then I will respectfully remove you and give a chance to another subscriber. So saliste de Cuba en lancha. Obviamente no fue una lanchita común. Esto
No.
desde Cuba ya tenías proyección, contacto de dónde ibas a llegar, ya tenías manejadores. So you left Cuba on a boat. So it wasn't just a regular raft. Did you have contact and already from Cuba? Who were you going to be signed under? Who was going to be working with you in the pro games? ¿Ya tenías a alguien visto que quién iba a trabajar contigo en lo profesional desde Cuba o
No.
Simplemente te tiraste.
Suerte y verdad.
So basically, he had nothing. He didn't know he was going to work, who he was going to work with. He just jumped to the water and said, let's hope that I make it. And he made it. Bueno, qué bueno que llegaste, porque mira el cambio que has dado.
Gracias, que llegué bien.
So, estás ahora aquí en los Estados Unidos. ¿Han tomado alguna represalia en cuanto a ti, en el sentido, en el futuro puedes regresar a Cuba o te tienen la entrada cerrada por haber decidido?
No, ya yo he entrado 2 veces a Cuba. He estado en Cuba por 3 días con mi familia, tengo mi familia allá y nada, no tengo problema.
I asked him if due to the fact that he was a representative of the island, has he had any problems going back to the island? And since the island has softened up a lot on that, he hasn't had any issues. He's been back twice already. He spent some time with his family. He still has some family over there. So as of now, no issues. Cuéntanos, ayer precisamente vimos la victoria de un peso completo que al parecer no tiene, pero parece que sí va a llegar un peso completo que se llama Frank Sanchez. No sé si viste la pelea ayer. Este peso completo es uno de los nombres, a pesar de otros nombres, que quizás en el futuro te vayas a tocar. ¿Cuáles son los pesos completos ahora mismo que tú crees te van a llegar a tocar la puerta?
Bueno, hay mucho. La pelea de ayer no la vi, pero hay muchos prospectos que si tienen cualidades para un futuro llegar lejos, ¿entiendes? Entonces ahí va a ganar el mejor, lo que mejor preparado estén, lo que mejor se encuentra en ese momento. Yo me encuentro trabajando, luchando bastante bien preparándome principalmente, porque sé que me queda una carrera bien difícil y bien larga para llegar a la cima, porque habemos mucho. Y nada, hay que prepararse solamente y dedicarle dedicación y disciplina. Es lo que yo me encuentro haciendo, dedicándole tiempo al deporte y preparándome bien, porque sé que es un camino un poco bien difícil, pero no es invencible. O sea, que no hay nada, no es que no se
No
pueda.
hay nada imposible.
Ajá, nada imposible. Sí se puede y lo voy a hacer.
Awesome. So I basically asked him, who do you think is going to be your next opponent out of all of these prospects that are coming up? And he says, so far, the one that's going to make it, I'm going to be ready for him. There's absolutely nothing impossible. And he's 100% certain that he's going to make it. Bueno, Frank, no quiero robarme toda la pregunta y quitarle la oportunidad a los suscriptores. I don't want to steal all the questions. I want to give an opportunity to my subscribers. So voy a poner el link para que ellos entren. Vamos a ir agarrándolo uno a uno. Ellos te darán una pregunta. Tú cordialmente se la contestas y así vamos a tratar de contestar 10 diferentes preguntas. ¿Te parece?
Ok, sí, está bien.
All right, guys, get your questions ready. Here comes the link. Remember, I will be taking one by one. Whoever is the first one that wants to come in, get your questions ready. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Me and Frank Sanchez happen to be from the same city in Cuba, Guantanamo, Cuba. You guys have seen how he is basically just taking it a day at a time. Another question, una preguntita en lo que entran la gente, en lo que se calman con los nervios.
Sí.
Tu relación con el Canelo Álvarez.
No, bastante bien mi relación ahí con Canelo. Siempre me apoya y me corrige algunos errores que voy teniendo. Es buena persona. Pensé al principio, yo dije, ¿cómo será? Porque no lo conocía bien en persona, pero cuando lo conocí, la verdad que me cayó muy bien y siempre estás atento de sus compañeros y principalmente nos dedica tiempo a nosotros, empieza a hablar con nosotros y siempre están hablando con todos sus compañeros ahí del equipo.
Awesome. So I asked him, how is his relationship with Canelo Alvarez? And he said, he's a lot nicer than I thought he would be. He's very, dedicates a lot of time to his teammates, talks to all of them, makes sure everything is going well for them. Bueno, el primer suscriptor que tenemos aquí esta noche se llama Major Key Boxing, the first subscriber. Major Key Boxing, welcome, my brother. What is your question? Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. Gracias por tenerme y oye, mucho apoyo para ti, Frank, y estamos aquí, tú sabes. Mira, yo me crié, me mudé de Nueva York hasta Miami a 16 años hasta 24. Pues yo entiendo Miami bien, tú sabes, el sur, Homestead, hay muchos boxeadores por allá, en Hallandale, en toda parte de Miami. Pues yo entiendo cómo le gustan pelear allá. Y cuántos cubanos están allá. Pues mi pregunta es por eso. Cuando llegaste a Miami y ahora siendo boxeador, ¿verdad? Que ahora tiene un nombre, ¿verdad? Con todos los cubanos que tienen, tú sabes, diferentes, ¿cómo se dice? Perspectivos de cómo pensar, de lo político y esto, lo otro. ¿Cómo te están tratando ahora que llegaste de esa forma y ahora que era un hombre grande? Y si, ¿eso es algo que te va a molestar en el futuro o algo que te da un apoyo? ¿Tú sabes? ¿Me entiendes?
A ver, para ver si entiendo mejor tu pregunta. La pregunta de él es, a ver, de la manera que llegaste, si las personas en Miami te tratan de manera diferente o si tú sientes el apoyo de ellos. Is that what you're saying, Major Key?
Yes. The thing is, I'm Spanglish, right? So
no, you're good, brother. So basically, Major Key, Frank, vamos a traducirlo un momentico. Major Key's question was, have Cubans in Miami grabbed you and are supporting you based on the fact that the way that you arrived here to America? Do you feel the support? What are your thoughts?
Or is it distracting also? Is it
o la manera en la que te tratan es un poco distractiva en tu carrera? ¿O is it the way is?
No, aquí en Miami me tratan bien, la manera de que yo llegué y todo me tratan bien. No tengo ninguna inconveniencia con ningunos boxeadores, con ninguna persona aquí. Todo cuando yo peleo y y regreso aquí a Miami. La persona cuando me ven en la calle, oye, peleaste muy bien, se está viendo tu avance, tu sacrificio, y estamos bien contentos. Mucha gente me lo han dicho en la calle.
Awesome. Well,
Okay,
basically, he said so far, everything's been great. Everybody's supporting me. When I fight, they see me on the streets. They always let me know that they like my fights. They like how I'm advancing in my career. And so far, everything has been great. Major Key, thank you for tuning in, man. Let me move you out so that I can get the other one.
Agradezco la respuesta y tú sabes, y voy a continuar con el apoyo. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, hermano. Muchas gracias.
Ok, el próximo es Edwin Solano. Bienvenido. Welcome, my brother. What is your question?
Buenas noches, Frankie.
Buenas noches.
La pregunta mía es si Andy Ruiz lo ha ayudado a usted o han peleado en entrenamientos con Andy Ruiz.
¿Se han hecho sparring en entrenamiento?
No hemos hecho sparring. Andy Ruiz tiene su campamento, su horario, y yo tengo el horario distinto a él. Él entrena, un ejemplo, de 10 a 12 de la mañana. Yo entreno de 1 a 3. Ya cuando yo llego, ya él se retira. Pero normal, nos vemos ahí, nos saludamos como todo el equipo. Pero el horario del entrenamiento no somos lo mismo, no es lo mismo. Y no tenemos ninguna inconveniencia, no hemos hecho sparring, pero estamos en el mismo team.
So basically, Edwin asked him, has he had the opportunity to get in the ring and spar with Andy Ruiz? And basically his answer was, no, as of now, no. We get along just fine, but our schedules are very different. His section of training is different to mine. But as of now, we have not had the opportunity to get into a sparring section. Don't forget to call in, guys. Don't be shy. Edwin, muchísimas gracias por tu pregunta.
Gracias, Frank, y espero lo mejor y el apoyo aquí de Texas, Guatemala y todos aquí en el YouTube que estamos apoyando aquí a Raw Boxing también, que esperamos lo mejor.
Muchas gracias, Edwin. Muchas gracias.
So, Frank, ya estás viendo que, vaya, yo me sorprendo porque la persona, a veces uno piensa, no, a mí me apoyan los cubanos, pero...
Wow, increíble. Hasta yo me he quedado sorprendido.
Vamos a ver si se llenan de valor. Come on, guys, come on in and ask your questions. So, una preguntita. Ryan Garcia es otro que es del mismo establecimiento de ustedes. Obviamente se ha estado viendo que el muchacho está avanzando. El muchacho está teniendo ciertas decisiones en su carrera que quizás sean para bien. Cuando ves a Ryan Garcia entrenar, tú tienes un ojo boxístico. ¿Qué puedes ver en Ryan Garcia? So obviously Ryan Garcia is your partner and he has been making some choices in his career that hopefully works for the best. When you see him training, you have the eye for training. What do you see for the future in Ryan Garcia? ¿Qué tipo de peleador ves que se puede desarrollar? Es muy joven.
Bueno, Ryan García es un peleador joven, un chico joven, pero sí tiene buenas cualidades. Y muchas personas, he escuchado que muchos dicen que no va a llegar, de que no puede, pero yo soy uno de los que digo que sí, porque es bien dedicado a sus entrenamientos y mira, esta última pelea, ahí demostró valentía, demostró que principalmente valentía, porque el primer round, segundo round creo fue que le dieron una izquierda y lo tumbaron y él supo levantarse. Fue lo que más me impresionó. A mí no me impresionó otra cosa, lo que más me impresionó fue que a pesar de que lo tumbaron, él se supo levantar y supo terminar el combate. ¿Sabes? Eso es una cosa que más me enorgulleció de él, y cuando terminó la pelea, que yo lo vi, lo abracé y le dije, demostrarte que eres un verdadero campeón.
Awesome. So basically he said he has seen Ryan Garcia train every day in the gym. The kid is very dedicated to his craft. Some people have told him, nah, he's not going to make it, but he is the one that believes that he will make it, mainly because of the way he trains and prepares himself every day, and because of what he showed on his last fight. You know, what he took away from Ryan's last fight was the fact that he was dropped and he got up. So he said after the fight, he went up to him, embraced him, told him, you showed me that you are a champion, you have the heart of a champion, and you will make it. El próximo, desde Quisqueya La Bella, República Dominicana, Guido Peón, bienvenido.
Dímelo, maní, ¿cómo estás?
Todo bien.
Dímelo. Saludos, Frank Sanchez, saludos.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Usted me oye bien?
Sí, te escucho bien. Tu pregunta.
Yo quiero preguntar, ¿con quién tú estás? ¿Quién es tu promotor y cuándo tú vas a pelear?
Ok, mi
La
promoción
próxima pelea, ¿cuándo?
mi próxima pelea.
¿Cuál es tu promoción y
Sí, ¿con quién?
tu manejador y cuándo es tu próxima pelea?
Mi
So,
promoción.
déjame traducírselo, Frank, un momento. So basically, Guido asked, who's your promotional company, your managers, and when is your next fight?
Mi promoción es Warrior Promotion, se llama así. Mi manejador es Guadalupe Valencia y Mike Borrell. Todo el mundo sabe mi entrenador, Eddie Reynoso. Y mi próxima pelea debe ser como en marzo. Iba a pelear ahora aquí en Miami en la cartelera de Saúl, pero la pequeña lesión que tuve no me puedo preparar, no me he podido preparar y no voy a pelear aquí en Miami. Mucha gente me ha estado escribiendo, me ha estado si voy a pelear, pero no, desafortunadamente no voy a poder. Yo lo que más quisiera es pelear aquí en Miami con todos los cubanos que me apoyan y me quieren, sabe, que me viera todos los fanáticos, pero no voy a poder. Entonces voy a pelearle, debe ser marzo o abril.
So his promotional company is Warrior Promotions, ¿correcto? Warrior Promotions.
Sí.
Su manejador es ¿cuál otra vez?
Guadalupe Valencia.
Guadalupe Valencia.
Y Mike Borrell.
And Mike Burrell is his manager. Obviously, everybody knows his trainer, which is Eddie Reynoso. And so he was supposed to be fighting now, but because of the injury that he received and he's training, preparing for his last fight, the doctor still has him away from the ring. And he would have loved to have fight in front of the Miami card, now for the Canelo undercard. But unfortunately, the doctor did not allow him to. He will probably be fighting sometime in March. So be on the lookout for that. I just want to tell the audience real quick, if anybody has a question, I'll be dropping the link. Feel free to come in. I will be taking one at a time. There's the link again. Don't be shy. Come in, ask one question, and he will answer directly to you. I will not be answering any question posted on the chat. You have the opportunity to come in and ask him for yourself. Guido, muchas gracias por la...
Sí, muchas gracias también. Frank Sanchez, buena suerte y espero que lo mejor que viene.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
De la raza cubana.
Who's the next one in line? Go ahead and place your call as we speak. So, Frank, una de las cosas que he estado rodeando a tu establecimiento, obviamente, es una lástima que no puedas pelear, porque sí me hubiese gustado verte pelear, pero es básicamente las cosas que Ryan Garcia está buscando para pelear con Pacquiao. ¿Qué tú crees de eso?
Sí, una pelea que se está todavía ahí trabajando a ver si se da. Y una pelea bien dura, bien complicada para Ryan Garcia. Pero no es nada imposible. Yo siempre se lo digo, no es nada imposible. Y él tiene buena pegada, solamente que siga su enfoque y con su mente bien alta, como él quiere ser grande. Y él lo puede ser.
Correcto. Basically, he's okay. He's told Ryan, look, if that fight was to come to fruition, there's nothing impossible. Keep training, keep your head high, and you should be fine. Just to remind you guys, if you do place your call, just be patient and wait. I will get to you eventually. Rapstar, I did saw your call. I got two people ahead of you. D-Style is one of them. The next one, mi cuñado, te lo presento. Boxeador en su propio peso, 16 años, uno de los mejores prospectos, sangre cubana y mexicana, peligro. Gallo de pelea. Mi cuñado.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
¿Cómo está? Bien, bien.
Yo tenía una pregunta para ti. ¿Qué son unos consejos que tú tienes para unos boxeadores que quieren ser profesional? Que ahorita están en amateur y que quieren ser profesional. ¿Qué consejo tú tienes?
Bueno, principalmente consejo que te daría. ¿Cuántas peleas tiene amateur?
43
peleas.
Cuando vas a decidirte a pelear profesional, no solamente lo hagas por voy a pelear profesional así a lo loco, porque si empiezas a pelear y no está todavía apto para pelear profesional, ¿para qué lo vas a hacer? si para perder y que, ¿sabes? Otros peleadores profesionales no abusen, no. Entonces, te aconsejo que te prepares bien. Cuando decidas irte para profesional, es porque ya tú tengas seguridad de que tú puedes ser grande, de que tú vas a ganar. No irte profesional porque, no, voy a pelear profesional a lo loco y que no sepa boxear. Si sabes y estás bien preparado para pelear profesional, pues para adelante. Que aquí nada es imposible. Siempre me lo han dicho, nada es imposible, siempre se puede. Y principalmente que tenga disciplina en tus entrenamientos y en todo. Es lo único que te digo, mucha disciplina y prepararte bien. Eso es todo.
Basically, my brothers-in-law, people, everybody, for those of you, you know, I talk about him a lot. This is my brother-in-law, future champion of the world. His question to Frank Sanchez was, what are your advice? What advice can you give to the young prospects that are in amateurs right now and want to make a transition to the professional game? Frank Sanchez's answer was, my answer to you would be to always be ready, know when you want to make the transition. When you do make the transition, don't do it just because you want to be a pro. Do it because you feel ready. And also, just to sum it all up a bit, he said you have to remain disciplined. You heard that, Anthony? You're very disciplined, but I also have to remind you that every time, even though you already are. Remain disciplined. And everything is possible in Frank Sanchez's mind. Nothing is impossible if you just put work towards it. Despídete, Anthony, para darle entrada al otro.
Quería enseñarte algo rápido. ¿Tú te acuerdas cuando yo fui a tu pelea en Louisville, Kentucky? Con mi papá.
A ver.
Wow, mira la foto que tiene, sí.
Mira.
Ahí está.
Sí.
Aquí hay gente hasta bajo la piedra.
Wow.
All right, guys. Anthony, I'll be seeing you next. Stay tuned. D-Style in the house. Thank you, my brother, for being here. Stage your question to the champ.
What's going on, HCP? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo están? Una pregunta. ¿Tú tienes sueño de un día pelear en tu tierra, pelear en Cuba profesionalmente? En Cuba.
Claro que sí. Ojalá y se pudiera pelear en Cuba profesional. que más que tú pelear en tu tierra, donde naciste, donde tienes toda tu gente. Eso sería un sueño para uno.
Exactly. D-Style's boxing was, do you have a dream to one day fight as a professional in your motherland, Cuba? His answer was, of course, that will always be a dream of mine, to fight in front of my people, the people that saw me. So that was D-Style. That was a very good question. I'm jealous. I should have came up with that question myself.
It's just the experience that you know what I mean. That's all it is. But it's all good, man. Great job, Rob. Boxing. Frank Sanchez va a ser campeón mundial. Nomás síguele.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Peace out, man.
All right, man. Thank you. Rap star in the building from England. Rap star then de Inglaterra. Rap star, how you doing, my friend, my brother?
Hey, I'm just saying to my brethren here, tell Mr. Sanchez he's got a fan from England, bro. And let me just speak. I saw the fight with Frank Sanchez against Julian Fernandez. And Julian Fernandez was taunting him for a couple rounds, but then Sanchez knocked him out with 2 right hands out of the fucking ring, bro. So Sanchez has got serious power. And I'd just like to say to Mr. Sanchez, as you know, England is the ruler of the heavyweight division right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson the Gypsy King, if that fight takes place, Mr. Sanchez, who do you think's going to win? And would you like to fight the winner, my brother? And smash the like button, everyone. What a great show.
Thank you. So everybody that's on wait, just be patient. I will get to you. La pregunta de él, lo primero que él quiere decirte que en él tienes un fanático desde Inglaterra. Él se encuentra en Inglaterra ahora mismo. Y básicamente vio tu pelea, tu última pelea, le gustó que a pesar de que tu oponente te estaba buqueando, tú mantuviste enfocado hasta que viste el knockout y lo enfocaste. La pregunta de él es, ¿sabe ahora mismo que en el peso completo Inglaterra es básicamente los dos nombres, Tyson Fury y Gypsy King, Tyson Fury y Anthony Joshua? Si esa pelea pasa, en tu opinión, quién gana y si algún día te gustaría enfrentar al ganador. So basically, you guys heard the question in English, so I don't have to retranslate it.
Bueno, por supuesto que me gustaría pelearle a cualquiera de los dos. Son los dos hombres que más, ahora que están en los heavyweight, en la cima, lo más alto. Y por supuesto, uno quiere, yo también quiero ser campeón, quiero estar ahí arriba. En la pelea entre Anthony Joshua y Tyson Fury, una pelea bien complicada. La verdad que es bien difícil uno decir quién va a ganar. O sea, para mí, Tyson Fury puede ganarle a Joshua.
Basically, Rapstar, what he's saying here is, you know, of course, he would have a dream. His dream is to fight any of those two guys. That would be a dream come true. But if that fight was to happen, he thinks that right now he likes Tyson Fury more to win that fight. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but he's picking the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
He's a very, very smart man. He understands boxing. He understands boxing. He knows what boxing is. But just tell Mr. Sanchez, yeah, I'm going to be supporting him from England. He's got a big fan base. I'm going to make sure I start to, you know what I mean, follow him and share him. Mr. Sanchez, God bless you, bro. England's with you.
Dice él que quiere que tú sepas que él va a tener un club de fans en Inglaterra apoyándote a ti específicamente. Wow. Que siempre tengas en mente que en Inglaterra tienes fanáticos y que Dios te bendiga y él va a seguir apoyándote.
Gracias, dile que muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias from England, bro. And everyone smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. What a great show, bro.
Thank you, my friend. Rapstar G Funky next. Thank you for being with us, Rapstar. G Funky in the house. Thank you, my brother, for being with us. What is your question?
Hey, how you doing, Raw? How you doing, Frank? Hey, real quickly, man. I'm watching my daughter right now while my wife's working on a work project. So I'll just ask one question, jump off, and I'll listen to the answer offline. But I want you to ask him, being that the Cuban style of boxing never seems to get its just due with the judges, does he feel more pressure to get knockouts instead of going the distance? And like I said, I'll take it off the air, and you're doing a great job, Raw. HCP.
Thank you. Frank, básicamente, él quiere saber, viendo la trayectoria del boxeo cubano en los Estados Unidos, es un estilo de boxeo que desafortunadamente a muchos de los jueces, por X razón, no le gusta. Dice que con esto en mente, si tú sientes presión a la hora de pelear, de inmediatamente ir por el knockout o si te mantienes relajado ahí buscando tu pelea.
Bueno, cuando ya uno pelea aquí, o sea, los cubanos, se nos hace un poco más difícil, un poquito más difícil porque el estilo de pelea que venimos de Cuba, de movernos mucho y no es que estar fajándonos todo el tiempo, eso se nos dificulta un poco, pero por lo menos a mí en lo personal yo me muevo y me gusta moverme, hacerme el boxeo de afuera, pero aquí he estado entrenando y trabajando principalmente en base a estar dando un poco más de show, no moverme demasiado. En la última pelea una de las últimas peleas con The Weapon fue que me moví. Era un boxeador bien chiquito. No podía facilitarle estar en la corta distancia porque era un oponente bien bajito. Tenía que tenerlo de afuera. Y ya después las otras dos peleas que tuve con el negro en noviembre y después peleé en diciembre. O sea,
exacto. Fue contra Julian Fernandez, con Brian Howard.
Ajá, y después con Julian Fernandez.
Y después con Julian Fernandez.
Ya esas dos peleas ya tuve dando un poco, tuve un poco más en contacto con los peleadores, tratando de no moverme mucho, porque sé que no gusta aquí. Sé que el boxeo profesional no gusta. Pero bueno, nunca salgo de la táctica mía y tampoco me dejo provocar como en el caso de Julián Fernández, que me estuvo haciendo así. No, yo mantuve mi ritmo de pelea y el trabajo que habíamos planeado que se iba a hacer. No me desesperé hasta que el knockout llegó solo. El knockout no se busca, solamente llega en el momento preciso.
Awesome. Déjame traducir eso bien rápido. Básicamente, G-Funk, his answer was, he does feel a bit of the pressure, but he also knows when to apply the pressure and when to move. For example, 2 fights ago versus Duetko, he was fighting a very short fighter, very short and stocky fighter. So he couldn't give him the opportunity to come in at the short range and make work of him on the inside. So he had to stick and move a little more. And then his other 2 fights against Brian Howard and then Julian, his last fight, he was able to plan himself a little more and execute a different style of boxing. He does know that the technical sweet science is not very accepted. However, he does know when to apply the pressure and when to remain calm and box. For example, he said in his last fight, he was never given in to his opponent taunting him and telling him to come in. He remained focused until he saw the knockout, and he took it. So, Frank, G. Funky, thank you so much for your question, my friend. Frank, él tuvo que salir bien rápido porque estaba cuidando a la niña, pero te manda saludo. The next one in line, we will be taking after Transcendent Sport and after A-Rod, we will be taking 2 more questions, people. So I'm going to drop the link. And if you call in, just be patient, and I will get to you. 2 more questions after these 2 guys that are in line. A-Rod 83, thank you for being here with us, brother. State your question, my friend.
Buenas noches, ¿cómo están? Acá en California es como las 7 de la noche, no sé qué horario es por allá.
Aquí son las 10:04.
Mi pregunta es, ¿cómo le va en el sparring con Canelo? ¿Cómo lo mira en la defensa de él? Porque miré un video que casi le quita la cabeza con una izquierda. ¿Qué opinas de Canelo y qué trabajo le puede dar a los peleadores?
So because you kind of cut off a bit, what kind of work, how does he see Canelo? Because he took you cut off a bit. Repeat your question.
I seen a video where he almost took Canelo's head off before his last.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see how he thinks his defense is compared to give anybody trouble in 168, 160.
So basically, they want to know, first of all, how you doing, and then básicamente quiere saber primero cómo estás, cómo ves el trabajo con el Canelo. Dice que él vio un video donde por poco le arrancabas la cabeza al Canelo de un gancho de izquierda. ¿Cómo ves al Canelo y qué opinas de él en la 168? ¿Quién le puede dar problema en la 168 al Canelo?
Bueno, en los sparring y allá arriba con Saúl, el sparring que vio que le tiré como un hook bien de poder, no es que yo le tiro tan suave, flojo, yo le tiro duro a Canelo. Lo que él es un peleador fuerte, todo el mundo sabe que es fuerte y sabe bastante porque ha aprendido en su carrera.
Uh-huh.
Y en su peso, yo digo, para ganarle va a ser difícil, también bien difícil. Yo hago sparring con él y yo que soy heavyweight, yo mismo a veces le tiro golpes de fuerza, golpes fuertes, porque yo tengo técnica y él me da golpes también. Exacto. Entonces, pero se me hace tan complicado, ¿sabes? Y es un peleador bien difícil, bien duro, bien fuerte y es súper difícil. Ha aprendido demasiado él en el boxeo y para ganarle, yo no creo que hasta ahora va a ser bien difícil que alguien le gane. Bien difícil.
Awesome. Basically, the question from A-Rod, you guys heard it, to give his assessment on Canelo. His answer is, listen, when I spar Canelo, I don't throw soft. I throw hard. And he's able to take it. Canelo is very, very, very fast. I myself am a very technical boxer, and he's still able to cut the ring and catch me and hit me. When we spar, we go at it very, very hard. And Canelo is just very tough and rugged. To beat him at 168 pounds, as of now, we can't see nobody doing it because of the simple fact that he moves really well. Canelo has learned a lot how to box, and he hits him like if he was a heavyweight, and he's able to just stand there and take the shots. A-Rod, I hope that satisfied your question, my friend. Say your farewells, and I will go to Transcendent Sport.
Gracias por y sabe que tiene el apoyo en California, en el Centro Valle, en el 559. Y mucha suerte para sus siguientes peleas.
California.
Muchas gracias.
Transcendent Sport, Sanchez, después de Transcendent Sport, voy a agarrar 2 preguntas más y te voy a dar la libertad, que sé que eres un hombre que necesita descanso. Transcendent Sport, thank you for being here with us, my brother. What is your question?
What's up, Raw Boxing TV? How are you, brother?
What's going on, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. To the gentleman over here who's a very, very good fighter. I'm a huge fan. I'm from the Philippines, but I'm living in Canada. So, my question is, what's the mental preparation as you about to enter the ring, and then when you're the first round, the bell rings. What's the mental preparation, and then how do you kind of calculate and navigate throughout the fight? Because in fights anything can happen.
Básicamente la pregunta que tiene este fanático es, primero, que decirte que él es filipino viviendo en Canadá. Dice que tienes un fanático en él y que te va a seguir apoyando. Y la pregunta es, ¿cuál es la preparación mental que tienes que tener para subirte al ring y cuando escuchas esa pelea, mantener tu tren de entrenamiento, mantener todo como tiene que estar?
Bueno, primeramente tú tienes que ir a la pelea ya bien preparado mentalmente. Con el oponente que tú vas a pelear, tienes que ir con tu táctica. Y eso primero se trabaja, ya viene trabajándolo desde gimnasio, desde gym. Ya de gym tú lo trabajas, ya tú vas bien preparado con la preparación que tuviste. Cuando tú tienes una preparación buena, una buena preparación, ya en la pelea tú te sientes más confiado.
Correcto.
Entonces, yo soy de lo que digo que primeramente tienes que prepararte en el gimnasio, en el gym. Depende de la preparación que tengas, es como vas a salir en la pelea y como vas a demostrar quién tú eres en la pelea.
Basically, his answer to you, my brother, is, he's the type of fighter that he likes to take care of all of those things in the gym. Or when the night of the fight comes and you hear that bell ring, everything is summed up, everything has been prepared, and it's just a matter of execution. And he thanks you for the support you are giving him.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, Raw Boxing TV. You have a great night.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I will be taking one more call after Dave 408. One more call. There is the link, guys. Let me drop the link one more time. Frank, después de nos queda él y una llamada más y te doy la libertad. Dave, thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you so much.
Hey, buenas noches todos.
Buenas noches.
Le quería decir gracias a Frank por tomar su tiempo a estar con nosotros aquí ahora.
Okay.
Y le quiero preguntar, la música cubana y los músicos cubanos son unos de los más famosos en el mundo y hay muchos músicos que van a Cuba a aprender el estilo música, tocar como un jazz musician famoso de Cuba. Si él piensa cuando tira sus combinaciones como un músico de Cuba, como Ibrahim Ferrer haciendo un jazz improvisation.
Bueno, ahí está la pregunta. Si le agregas sazón de la música cubana a tu técnica. Basically, Dave's 408 question was, we all know that Cuban musicians are amongst the best in the world, specifically jazz musicians. When he gets in the ring, if he thinks of like a Cuban musician when he's throwing his combination and adds a little bit of the flavor in there.
Bueno, yo soy de lo que digo que la mayoría de los boxeadores y más cubanos tienen que saber bailar. Si no saben bailar, no son peleadores, no son boxeadores.
He says that he's the opinion that the majority of the Cuban boxers have to know how to dance. If they don't know how to dance, then they're not Cuban boxers at all.
Well, that's a great answer.
A partir del baile, tú tienes la coordinación, busca la coordinación para moverte en el ring, con coordinación, coordinar los golpes con las piernas. Y siempre he dicho eso, hay que saber bailar. Y la música cubana siempre tiene su sazón, sus cosas buenas.
So basically, he is saying, just to translate, Dave, because I know you did understood. Basically, what he's saying is he's of the opinion that the Cuban fighter needs to learn how to dance. After you know how to dance, you need to learn how to coordinate. As you fight, you need to learn how to coordinate your foot movement just to be able to add a little bit of the sauce to it, Dave.
Y yo por eso pienso que un día va a ser muy interesante a ver estos dos bailar. Y estoy hablando del Gypsy King y Frank Sanchez.
Oh, Dave,
thanks, Ranger. Thank you. Great show.
Hey, man, this is your show just as much as it is mine. Thank you for being here with me tonight. So basically, Dave said That's why he thinks it's very interesting to see one day 2 fighters dance in the ring. Gypsy King versus Frank Sanchez. Our last caller of the night, Black and Brown Boxing. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe to all of these channels. Black and Brown, thank you for being here. State your question, my friend.
Oh man, thank you so much for having me. First, I want to just say, man, I've seen Frank Sanchez like his last 4 or 5 fights, and I just want to say that he's improved every single time I've seen him fight. He's gotten better and better.
Dice que lo primero que quiere decirte él que él ha estado observando tu carrera y quiere decirte que cada vez que te mira boxear ve algo nuevo en ti y que vas mejorando y progresando en tu transición profesional. Okay?
Muchas gracias.
Yeah, yeah, and then I want to say that his last fight against Julian Fernandez, he looked amazing. Julian Fernandez kept trying to bait him in, and he wasn't biting the bait. He wasn't falling for it, and he kept boxing. He stayed composed, and look what happened at the end. Was he worried? Was he worried for Julian Fernandez after he almost knocked him through out the ring? Was he worried for him at all?
Awesome. Basically,
because it was vicious. It was vicious.
Definitely. Dice él que le gustó también que en tu última pelea, a pesar que de lo que te pasaba en el pie, vio que te moviste, boxeaste muy bien. Le gustó mucho que a pesar de que Julian Fernández te estaba cuqueando como que echa para acá, tú mantuviste tu composición boxística, tu calma y mantuviste tu boxeo y luego viste el fulminante knockout que le propusiste. La pregunta de él es, al ver el knockout que le propusiste, ¿surgió algún tipo de preocupación en tu mente hacia el oponente, ya que hay muchos oponentes que reciben daños así y no hay recuperación?
Bueno, la verdad que de la forma que cayó, vaya, después de la pelea me sentí un poco, ¿sabes? ¿No? Quise saber cómo estaba, porque la forma que cayó de una forma bien fea.
Uh-huh.
Y luego que terminamos la pelea ya me dieron noticia de Julián Fernández, que tuvo fractura aquí en la mandíbula, pero ya después se sintió mejor, pero fue un daño bien, fue algo bien dañado, ¿sabes? Lo dañé bastante.
Yeah.
Y nada, es cosa del deporte y otra cosa no se puede hacer, pero sí me sentí, sí me preocupé un poco después, cuando terminamos la pelea, por saber de cómo él estaba.
Awesome. So basically, Black and Brown, his answer is, after he saw the way that Julian Fernandez went down, he got a little worried to the point that after the fight, he wanted to know how he was doing. They came with news to him, telling him that he's doing better. He did suffer a broken jaw, but he is recuperating. He should be fine. And that made him kind of happy because he was kind of worried after seeing the way that he fell out of the ring. So, yeah, unfortunately, he received a broken jaw, but that's part of boxing, and he's just glad that the man is okay and should be recovered. Get that?
Okay, great. I got one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
I got it. I got one more question, brother. I've been following Frank Sanchez, and I've been following Ryan Garcia for the last few years, right? So it was kind of it was kind of crazy for me to see Henry Garcia in the corner working with Frank Sanchez. So can Frank just like elaborate to us a little bit what it's like working with Henry Garcia?
Dice que él ha estado siguiendo tu carrera, pero también ha estado siguiendo la carrera de Ryan Garcia. Y dice que quería preguntarte, porque en tu última pelea, desafortunadamente, Eric Reynoso no pudo subir contigo, pero sí subió Henry Garcia. ¿Cuál fue la diferencia? ¿Cómo es tener a Henry Garcia en la esquina?
Bueno, buena experiencia. Siempre trabaja también, estamos trabajando en el gimnasio, me conoce bastante y, o sea, nos conocemos, él sabe mi estilo de pelea y me gusta también que participe en mi esquina, ¿sabes? Me conoce y sabe cuando necesito alguna cosa, algunos recursos en la pelea que me falte, que estoy subiendo, tengo la mano muy abajo, que me estoy moviendo demasiado, entonces en la esquina me lo dice. Me dice, hey, está pasando esto, a lo otro, vamos a hacer esto, y así fluye todo entre nosotros ahí.
Awesome. He says, they always work as a team, and he feels comfortable having him in the corner because he knows him very well. They both know each other, so he feels comfortable enough to have him there. He knows when to tell him, what resources he needs, if he's moving too much, if he's dropping his hands too much. So he feels comfortable. It's just a matter of them working together and keeping that knowledge about each other. So I hope that answers your question, Black and Brown. I'm going to exit you now, my brother. Thank you for being here with us.
It did. It did. Thank you guys so much. Hey, Frank Sanchez, he's a class act, and we're going to continue supporting him. Thank you, Raw. We're out.
Señor, y que va a seguir apoyándote. Well, people, I'm going to say goodbye to Frank, but you stay here with me. Frank, muchísimas gracias por tomar este tiempo, específicamente no solamente de la entrevista conmigo. Gracias por tomar el tiempo y contestarle la pregunta a las personas que son fanáticos de mi show. Thank you for taking the time, not only for giving me an interview, but to taking the time and answering the questions to the people that follow my show. Si tienes algunas últimas palabras.
Nada, decirle a todos que le agradezco por el apoyo y que me sigan. Estoy aquí tienen un futuro campeón que estoy bien enfocado en mi carrera y nada, que me apoyen, y es lo único que le pido, que sí voy a llegar a ser grande con el favor de Dios y con el esfuerzo y la dedicación que le pongo a mis entrenamientos y a todo.
Awesome.
Gracias a ti también, hermano.
Basically, what he wants to do is tell you guys, thank you very much for the support you guys have been giving him. Just to keep supporting him. In him, you should have a future champion due to the fact that he is very dedicated to his career, and he also expects, with the favor of God, to just become a world champion one day, and he will not disappoint you. He just asks that you keep supporting him. Ha sido un honor, mi hermano. Muchísimas gracias. Estamos hablando en los próximos días y yo continúo con mi show. Que tengas buenas noches y Dios te bendiga.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
All right, guys, man. I hope you guys had fun, man. I had a blast. I'm so happy at the fact that I was able to have you guys come in here and ask him the questions yourself. But we're going to continue with the show for those that want to remain here. You don't have to, but if you want to remain with me, man, we're going to continue with the show because there's some things that we need to talk about, man. So you guys have the link. Any of you want to come in, I'll shoot the link again and we'll chop it up together, man. Here's the link again. Listen, guys. One of the purposes, actually, give me just a second. Let me just change my headphones. Give me a second. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Awesome, awesome. One of the purposes of the show tonight, man, was just to show you guys I'm putting in some work as an official member of the Hispanics Causing Panic. Ain't that right, D-Step?
HCP. You know me. Hell yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
As an official member, man. Hey, listen, guys, I don't want to be selfish in anything. I just want to start sharing from now on. Look at the thing that hat did, man. I'm telling you. I'm still ugly, so it doesn't matter. So what you guys think of the show, man?
Hey, great show, man. Good stuff, man. You know, just wanted to jump on, congratulate you, man. I'm a little upset that Black and Brown had 4 statements, 2 questions. You know, like because I had a follow up, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be professional. I'm gonna follow the rules, and I'm gonna exit like I was told. You know what I mean? But you know, Black and Brown was that kid that wouldn't stay in line. You know, when teacher said, "Hey, everybody, get in the line." You know, but in all seriousness, great question. Everybody asked some good questions.
Man, I really liked everybody's question, but that question from Dave was pretty interesting, man. And your question was awesome. You know, I didn't think of that question, man. Your question was awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I had a follow-up because what I was going to ask him was, like, you know, they say that New York is the mecca of boxing. They say Las Vegas is the capital of the fight world, yada, yada, yada. But what is your mecca? Well, where is it that you want to fight? You know, is it a stadium in Miami? Is it Madison Square Garden? Is it the MGM Grand Arena? Or, you know, somewhere else? And I was going to let him, you know, say, because that probably is what it is, Cuba, you know, the motherland. Because let me tell you something, man. The Cuban fighters are the only fighters that I know of outside of Cecilia Breakas, because her sport is banned in her country as well. You know what I mean? Outside of her, right? the Cubans are the only ones I know, man, that always got to play away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're always the away team. They're always the road warriors, right? Everyone needs to tell them, oh, don't fight that way. That way's boring, or you don't do it that way, or yeah. Like, trust me. Let me tell you something right now, man. If Guillermo Ringendow could go to Cuba and fight professionally, that dude will be fighting in sold-out arenas over there.
Oh, a fact.
You know what I mean? And they'll be showing them love. And guess what? Bob Arum would have nothing to say because he would have somewhere to make money with them.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And then that's an issue that a lot of Cubans have, man. Like, outside of Miami and New York, like, where else can they really go? They can't go, like, to Phoenix, Arizona, and there's, like, a flock of Cuban fans that will show up. You know what I mean? So it's very limited where they can go, and be the home team. That's just the reality. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to say, man, great show, and all that. So since I wasn't going to be like Black and Brown, I just went straight to the, how do you feel about that? Another question I actually had was, I did an interview with Guillermo Ringendow years ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you'll know where I'm going with this right away.
Okay.
And I told him, this is what I said. When you go to the Olympics, only the top guy in the weight class goes to the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, the Olympics doesn't really have the best of the best. It has the best of each country.
Correct.
Participating against each other. That's the way the amateurs are structured. And I asked him, I said, how good was the number 2 guy behind you, and the number 3 guy, and the number 4 guy? And how many of them did you know that maybe their style wasn't the best for the amateurs, but there would have been a much better pro? And I remember what he told me was, he goes, you know what? A lot of those number 2, number 3, number 4 guys, many of them would have been tremendous pros. And if those guys were able to get the shine, just like we did, going to the Olympics, getting gold medals, medaling all the time, like if boxing was legal in Cuba,
mm-hmm.
We would have run boxing, is what he said.
Yeah.
He said it's a lot of like wasted talent, pretty much.
It is, man.
Of the structure, yeah.
It is. It's the fact that I don't understand how the politics can have such a strong influence in the sport. And when I say politics, I don't mean sports politics, but I mean outside governmental politics can have such a strong impact in the sport to where you're telling an amateur fighter, listen, after the Olympics, that's it for you. You cannot turn professional because we don't allow it. And the thing about it is, it's like I'm hoping. There's been several attempts to be fair. There's been several attempts, but obviously with the death of Castro and the transition of power to his brother, and then his brother having the power for a very short time, and then transitioning to the current president over there, or the current dictator, however you want to classify it, it's always never went fully through, and it sucks. I mean, baseball was this close from being allowed, professional baseball in Cuba.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping now that we're not that far off, man, because there's too many good talents in Cuba to where you said it best. If Rigo was to any of the Cuban fighters, my goodness, old and past his prime, Gamboa will go to Cuba to fight. I guarantee you he will sell any stadium.
Not just an arena, stadium.
Any stadium. And the reason I say stadium, because sport is a religion in Cuba. When you look at even the most insignificant boxing match in Cuba, it's sold out. It's sold out. People take their tambores, their things to make noise, and it's like a super live audience. So guys, the link is there, man. Come in, chop it up with me. Transcendent Sport. You've been quiet in the dark, my brother. Talk to me.
That's how just I am. What's up, D-Style? Well, you guys are chopping up. I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, you good?
Dude, I got to tell you, Cuban fighters are by far for me the most polished fighters. They're just really, their fundamental of boxing is so much greater than other boxers out there. Their style is just quite untouchable. to be honest, right? Their jabs and the way they move and their head movement, those it really reminds me how the fundamentals of boxing can take you from prospect to stardom, right? And they have it, yeah. And to be honest, I really like Ricky now too. I like remember when he was him against Lomachenko. Was it Lomachenko? And I was like thinking to myself, oh, I don't know how these two fighters are gonna match up because both have polished boxing skills. And I'm like, Ricky now can really box, and people don't really like him because his style is kind of different, right? But even right now, he looks tremendous when he fights, right? His IQ is just crazy, and that's why I like.
People fail to realize, that you just said it. People fail to realize that the man knows boxing, and against the fight with Loma, I think that fight should have never taken place. I blame his team 100% because to be as nice as I can possibly be, Rigo is not a very educated man to the point to where he's very involved in the business aspect of his career. He's sort of just not be in the gym, call me for the fight, but his team did anything good in that fight. I mean, you can't make a fighter that old that move two-weight division to fight somebody who has a similar. It's almost as good as him. Automatically puts him at a disadvantage, but it happened. He signed a contract. It's his fault. He took the L, but right now he's the champion. Yeah, and right now he said that he's gonna defend his title at 118, and then he's coming back to 122 because he says that at 122 he can destroy all of the champions that are current at the 122. That's just what he thinks.
I mean, he can. His style is pretty good, man. And I know a lot of people don't like that kind of style of that slick and move boxing. They want to see how it is raw, like just like banging each other out, right? Whatever. Pause. That's not what I meant. What I meant was kind of hit your head on the thing. But I really appreciate when a boxer shows his skills tremendous in a way. It kind of makes you feel like an awe, like wow, that man can box.
Definitely.
Well, when you think about it, I mean, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans that quote unquote box. Look at Ivan Calderon, for example. You know what I mean? But Ivan Calderon can go to his home country and sell out an arena. You know what I mean? There's a lot of boxers from Mexico, but again, they can go to Mexico and box there. The fact that they're the away team puts them at a big disadvantage. Not just the fans, but even with the media. I mean, I've heard things said about Cuban boxers that would not be said about other ethnicities or any other Latinos even. Things like, a scribe, a very well-known, that said that they could send every Cuban boxer back in a raft to Cuba for all I care, and I wouldn't care. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. That wouldn't happen. Like nobody would really say that. Like some idiot on YouTube might say that, but I'm talking about like a boxing scribe that used to work for ESPN. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're always the away team, but I want to tell you guys, how many times do you see Olympic gold medalists in the US that don't pan out, but like a lot of their stablemates that didn't quite make the Olympics end up being better than them in the pros. You know what I mean? Just think about all the talent in Cuba that maybe in the amateurs, they couldn't quite make the team to go to the Olympics or the World Championships, but they just had a style that would be better for 12 rounds or something like that, there has to be a lot of talent like that. That's why I'm kind of hoping that sometime in the near future, there is at least allow sports, back in Cuba, and not just boxing, but baseball. They got some great wrestlers over there in Cuba. It's got a lot of guys that could even join MMA. I mean, they just have a lot of talent over there. And I'm just hoping that, that can change a little bit, But, hey, I want to thank you guys, man. Hey, I think it's the first time I've been on here with Transistor Sports. I salute you. Shout out to Raw Boxing. ACP, stand up. Who's down with ACP?
Everybody, homie.
That's right. I'm out, guys. Peace out.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So let me answer a few questions here. Jesus M. First question is Rigo versus Casemiro. Let me tell you a very interesting story on that fight. That fight should have been taking place. You know what's stopping it? You guys are not going to believe what's stopping that fight. It's not Rigo. It's not the negotiations. It's not the teams. It's the fact that they can't find Casemiro.
Oh, really?
Casemiro lives in the Philippines, but in one of the islands where there isn't even internet. There's like one phone in the entire village.
I know where it is. Yep.
Yeah, and so every time they called, he's not there. He's out in the woods. So they can't find this man. So they need his ink on the paper. They need to get him here to train. So as of now, that fight's not happening only for that reason, because Rigo has agreed to fight. Casemiro agreed before going back to Philippines. Yeah, make the fight happens on paper and we'll do it physically. The numbers have been figured out. The numbers are right. The only reason that Casemiro versus Rigo has not happened, they can't find Casemiro. So let's use Google Earth to see if we can find him, man.
No, because he lives in a very isolated part of the Philippines.
Correct.
I'm Filipino, so I know exactly where he lives at, and it's very isolated. Not much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful countryside because there's no internet and those stuff, so you really get to live in the nature of it. I know exactly what you're saying, and also the thing is, if he's back at the Philippines, that means that with the pandemic going on, everything's kind of restricted and everything.
Yeah.
Right. So. If it'd be really nice to actually have this fight pretty soon, right, dude? If this fight happens, I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be a 50-50 fight for me.
Yeah, and it's very fair. It's very fair because Casemiro is no joke.
No,
he's got power too, dude.
He got power,
and
dude. He got power.
Dude.
Scary power. And you know what? The first time I saw Casemiro when I was fighting, I was like, man, this guy's cocky as hell. When I saw him fight a couple times, and when I was like, my dad and I were watching him fighting when he was early in his career in the Philippines, he was cocky. Like Casemiro was cocky, right? He had that devil in him, whatever. Yeah. So we're like, okay, he's cocky. He has some power? I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be a good translation when he goes to America and those stuff, because he's been fighting around the Philippines, right? Or around Asia. And then when he started fighting in America and people started liking him, like, all right, he's pretty good. But the only thing I really want him to fight is Inoue. I really want that. I really want that fight, man. You have no idea how much
time. Hey,
I know.
That should be next for Casemiro if he beats Rigo. And I'm telling you this because I know it to be factual from his team. So if that happens, I'm going to try to have a member of their team here and pretty much do the same thing I did tonight. So just know that I'm keeping that in mind. Chris M here says, but what else was Rigo supposed to do other than fight Loma when he couldn't get the marquee fights around his division? There was fights to make, Chris.
Yeah, there was.
Here's the deal. Just because you're not getting the marquee fights around your division, that doesn't mean that you're gonna tell your old fighter, your very good old fighter, listen, move up 2 weight divisions to fight a guy that's almost as good as you, very comfortable with that division, much younger than you. Hey, and you know what? Do so for less than $1 million. Less than $1 million. Let that sink in for a minute. And look at the reputational damage Rigo has taken because of that mistake, because of that fight. Less than $1 million. That's where it all comes down to. His team should have been smart. His team should have been like, okay, if we have a big chance of losing, we're going to go up there, but you got to shoot me at least $2 million. And they would have made it happen because Bob Arum was after that. Bob Arum wanted to make Loma that boogeyman, that unstoppable guy, and that a victory over Rigo actually did that. Gave him a lot of credibility. So when you have that catch-2 situation, you got to ask for the big dollars, my friend. What else was he supposed to do? Either take other fights or ask for $2 million. That's my answer to you. Rigo versus Gallo or Tete, never going to happen. Neither Gallo nor Tete nor Chocolatito want to fight Rigo. And I know that to be factual. They have turned down plenty of good offers.
Is that because of
good offers?
Why don't they want to fight Rigondeaux? Like,
Easy.
I'm just curious.
Very easy. How would it look if you're considered pound per pound, young, and you go up against a 40-year-old guy and he beats you? A 40-year-old guy that supposedly, according to the media, is nothing, is not that good. Nobody likes him. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Like has been and those stuff. Yeah. Oh, well, ask Keith Thurman.
Yeah, correct.
Ask Keith Thurman.
Chris M is oh yeah, we're talking about that dude. That dude was a stupid man when he said that. Let me see. Finding Casemiro.
You know what? Speaking of Casemiro, I want him. It'd be good for me for the Philippines if Casemiro versus Donaire. Wouldn't that be a great fight?
Casemiro versus who?
Donaire. Nandito Donaire.
It would be a good fight, but I look, I have a lot of respect for Nonito Donaire.
Right.
Because Nonito Donaire has always shown to be a gentleman. In his days, he was a massive killer. Can't nobody deny that.
Man, it was a monster, bro.
And a matter of fact, I think the downfall of Rigo was beating Nonito Donaire because he took the cash cow from Top Rank. But Nonito has always been a monster, right? But in my opinion, right now, if Nonito was to take that fight, it would be for numbers, for the purse, because he's still a good fighter. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
And he's not super old. But Casemiro is just at another level right now, man.
Yeah, that's true. When Nonito Donaire fought Inoue, and he wobbled Inoue, right? When he out wobbled Inoue, I was like, oh crap, Nonito Donaire can win this. And then when he got with a body shot, that's when I know. Well, that's when I know he's like, oh yeah, he's good, but he's kind of declining now, right?
Definitely.
And I feel bad for him, man. But I always a huge fan of him, especially when he fought. Was it Walters? I forgot it was that. Was it Walters?
With the Jamaican guy? Yeah, Walters.
Yeah, Walters. Remember that fight? That was a huge fight.
I actually don't, because I was away from boxing during that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a huge fight in the Philippines, bro. Everyone was like, oh, Nonito Donaire can actually come back, because when he lost to I forgot his name. Prior to Walters, he lost to somebody, so it was his comeback fight, I think, right? And then he lost. And I was like, oh man, I think that thing is done, right? But now he's always proving that he can always fight. Which is
man.
Nice. Which is nice.
The thing with Nonito Donaire as well, man, is Nonito Donaire, in my opinion, needs a change of corner, needs a change of style, needs something fresh. When I first saw slides on Instagram of him with Ismael Salas, I thought, oh crap, he's going to be with Salas. That means he's going to take his game to another level. But I think it was just like a one-day thing or a few-week thing. It wasn't like a
permanent thing.
Yeah, a permanent thing. But, man, I'll tell you what, man. I'm glad he's still around, but keep him away from Casemiro. Just another level right now. Yeah. Just another level. And I'm telling you right now, once the fight happens with Rigo, if Casemiro becomes victorious in that fight, which – the odds would point,
for
that
Casemiro?
To be.
Yeah,
I think so. Just because of age, Rigo is excellent. Don't get me wrong. I love Rigo. He's an excellent boxer, but you have to know when you look at Rigo right now, he's not as sharp and as fast as he once was at 122.
Yeah.
He still has the skills. You got to be very educated in order to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to think that because of the judges not liking him as much, because of Casemiro having so much power, because of Casemiro being liked, because of Casemiro applying pressure, the odds are moving more in his favor right now. Now, I can tell you this, Rigo might come in and shock the living hell out of us because he's got the skills to do so.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm just
go
ahead.
That when Rigondeaux was at his peak, he was scary. Like, he was very slick. His boxing IQ. Like, this is what I've been talking about. Cuban fighters are just really fundamentals when it comes to boxing.
Yeah.
They're just really, really good, right? When Rigondeaux was at his peak, man, he can move, he can box, he can turn people around, right? You know what he used to do? He does like trampoline, like
yeah.
sunsaults. right? He does trunsos, and after he gets up, he waits for a second and starts throwing his hands, and then he does that because when he gets knocked down, that's how they did before, right? That's the explanation. I was like, that's pretty interesting. Like, why would you do that? But then, it's their part of training, right? So he was a monster when he was at his peak. Rare monster, right?
For those that are just coming in, I'd like to thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up. If you missed the great interview with Sanchez, just simply rewind this live all the way to the beginning. You'll have an opportunity to see that. We had a great show, man. And we're going to have shows like this more often. I'm doing some pretty tough work to get a mega name in here. And I can tell you this right now. The signs are looking good.
That's good, brother.
It's just a matter of time. But I think I just get happy when I think that, dang, my people can get in there and ask these questions, because I'm already in touch with this fighter. So it's nothing new to me. And it's not trying to sound cocky, but I mean, like, I get excited to think that you guys have the opportunity to come in, ask him a question yourself, getting the reply from the fighters themselves. And I think that excites me a lot. But man, I'm going to shoot the link. I want to switch the topic here pretty soon. I want to start talking about some of the things with the current fighters, Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, the Plant fight yesterday. So hit that link, come on in. Whoever has the fortitude to join Raw Boxing TV, come on in and let's talk some boxing, people.
Hey, speaking of that, what you think of Caleb Plant's performance? Just come on, man. Everybody's been talking about it. I want to know what your perspective. Come on, brother.
Yeah, I covered that fight live last night, and I got to tell you.
Yeah, I missed that.
I got to tell you.
Okay.
I can always appreciate a boxer. Don't get me wrong. I just thought last night Caleb Plant was obligated to make a statement.
Right.
What was the statement? Okay, the statement is, I got a 38-year-old fighter in front of me. I cannot go 12 rounds with this cat. I need to knock him out of there so that I can make myself an exciting opponent for Canelo Alvarez. And he failed that last night. Now, he says he broke his hand. But then I saw him doing this at the end of the fight, which indicates your hand's not to be broken. Maybe swollen knuckles, but that doesn't knocking somebody out. Okay? He had Truax hurt a few times. He could have gotten Truax out of there, but he just kept choosing to stick and move. And then he started getting a little sluggish. Truax started catching him with an overhand right over his jab. And let me tell you, that is going to come at a high risk versus a Canelo Alvarez. So what do I thought about his opponent, about his performance last night?
Yeah.
He did what he had to do against the opponent he had in front of him, but he didn't do what he was supposed to do to place himself as a desirable opponent versus Canelo Alvarez, if that satisfies your question.
Right. So after I watched that, when I was watching that fight, and you had great points, right? And sorry, I didn't join at your live commentary because I was watching the fight. I was watching the fight.
Oh, no problem.
And during the fight, and right after during the fight, I was like thinking, okay, Canelo could catch you doing this, doing that, right? And then after the fight, wholeheartedly I said he's not ready for Canelo. He's not ready for. I give him props because it's a win, right? It's boxing, you put your life on the line. It's a win, right? Right now, all I can see is Canelo just overpowering. Not even that. He could probably just like knock him out in the early rounds.
For sure.
Right? And
sure.
I said to myself, yeah, he's not ready for Canelo, man. There's no way. I'm pretty sure all the boxers, he could probably have good fights with other boxers out there, but not a Canelo. Not a Canelo.
For real. And see, what's up, Guido?
Dímelo, mi mano, de lo mío. What's up, Carlos? How you doing, brother?
Hey,
what's
man.
Up, Guido? Hey, thanks for tuning in from a live, bro. Oh, you should have.
No problem, brother. You know that. You know I got you, bro.
Hey, you do videos too, Transcendent?
Yeah, bro, I do. I didn't
know that everybody subscribed to Transcendent Sports, man. Come on, man. Let's support each other.
Thank you. You should come to my live next time, bro.
Hey, Ron, by the way.
The shoe shine.
Great video, brother. Great video tonight. That was a great one. You know.
Hey,
I
man.
really appreciate you, man. You know.
Hey, man, I
Put in
appreciate
work.
you guys for putting in the support, man. I mean, after all, that's what I'm here for. It's not just to share my knowledge of the sport. It's to basically give you guys a little extra in exchange for the support you guys give me. I mean, it's always a pleasure to do this. And like I was telling people, I get more exciting just knowing that you guys will get the chance of asking the questions yourself than me talking to them, because I'm in contact with these fighters already. So it's nothing new to me. So, but just when I think, I'm like, dang, I can't wait till the guys get in there and start asking the questions themselves. It excites me a little more. And just to guys, if you want to come in, man, I can take up to 10 of y'all. There's the link. Let's talk some boxing. So, okay, keeping in mind the Plant situation. Listen, guys, it's very simple. You just heard it from Frank Sanchez itself. Let's put this in perspective. For those that are casual fans, for those that love or hate Canelo, for those that are watching from the dark, from Thailand, from Greenville, North Carolina right now, let me put this to you. Put this in perspective. The heavyweight just told you, when I hit Canelo, I hit him with everything I got. And the kid takes it and comes back. My question to you is, do you think Benavidez is going to be able to hurt Canelo? I mean, anything can happen in sports, but after you hear a heavyweight say, I hit him with everything, and you just heard A-Rod, he hit Canelo with a left hook that almost took his head off, and the kid came back, didn't even wobble. So that makes me to believe, like, damn, is there anybody with the power to hurt Canelo? And then I'm also thinking of the shots he took versus GGG, and I'm like, is there anybody?
Yeah, and also Danny Jacobs and Kovalev. He took it pretty well, like nothing.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah. What we talked about, Guido, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this in Carlos' show earlier. Remember, Carlos, when I broke it down?
I said nobody's gonna touch Canelo. Nobody is gonna touch Canelo. He might go to heavyweight. Nobody's still gonna touch Canelo. That's what I said.
Yeah, you're right, JC. Canelo gonna walk, and you know, that is a tactic implemented by a lot of good fighters. When a good fighter knows I can take my opponent's punch, he has, say, my boxing ability is a 9, his boxing ability is a 9.1, but my ability to take a punch is 10, and his ability is 5. A lot of fighters say, okay, go ahead and put a few in my face. I just want to be able to come into the mid-range so I can counter you and destroy you. And I think that's what Canelo is going to do with Plant. Canelo's going to cut that ring, allow Plant to feel comfortable.
They're playing hit him with the, you know what I mean? And then hit him with the hard shot on the body. I can see that.
He's going to break Plant. Now, again, it's boxing. Boxing always gives us surprises.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Otra cosa, mano. Otra cosa.
Yeah, go ahead.
Plant faded a lot in the later round. I don't know if you noticed.
Of course.
He slows down a lot in the 8 and 9. That's when he was getting tagged. I don't know if you guys noticed that. That's when he got started hitting with the overhand right. He was slowing down. He doesn't got a good stamina. You know what I mean?
Right.
A guy like Canelo, you better be in shape, you know?
Yeah, that's what we talk about, Vito, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing too, man. That's one of the things that that Canelo implements. If you know, Canelo keeps the same speed from round 1 to round 2 to round 12. He knows how to reserve that energy while applying just enough pressure and just enough movement to make you look. I mean, let's be real here for a second. Canelo, when was the last time you saw Canelo? Oh, damn. He's so hurt. Is he gonna make? Never. We've never seen Canelo in that position.
Never.
You know, just with the Cotto's brother, and that was only for like 10 seconds in that round.
He was 18, I believe.
And he was an 18-year-old kid making his debut in Miami, Florida. You know? So, man, I just see there. I mean, that's just facts. That's not even fanboying. Can anybody dispute that? The video evidence there of his head almost being detached by a left hook from Sanchez, and he took it like it was just a punch from a lightweight and came back. And you've heard Sanchez state in the past, hey, listen, Canelo hits hard. And you heard Sanchez say, I don't think ain't nobody's beating him at that weight division. Now you might say, oh, he's just saying that because in his team, that's his teammate, and that would be fair to say as well. But then we have to take into consideration the video evidence we have. It's not just Sanchez saying it. We got these things on video, so it's undisputable. We can't deny that.
Yeah, not only that. I mean, look
No,
at Canelo's
jump
opponents.
in, bro.
Yeah.
Here's the link.
And not only that, dude. Look at
People are shy today, dog.
Yeah, probably.
Man, I'm not giving no smoke. I'm just sharing some thoughts today.
And not only that. Let me add something. Canelo has been fighting powerful
Major
punchers.
Key. There's the link, Major Key. What's that, brother? I'm sorry.
I said, not only that, Canelo has been facing powerful punchers like Triple G, Daniel Jacobs, right? And me and Guido talk about this. Remember, Guido, I said, can you imagine the most powerful puncher at 168? Do you think that they can take Canelo? I said no. There's no one in 168 who can take Canelo's and outpowering him. There's nobody at 168 who can outpower Canelo when it comes to punches.
Major Key Boxing in the house, everybody. If you need to, just exit the live. Subscribe to Transcendent Sport. Subscribe to
Glenn. What's good, brother?
Subscribe. Let's roll. What's up, my brother?
Chilling, Guido, Carlo. You know what I'm saying? Raw Boxing. What's going on, yo? Listen. No, my comment was let's not forget also that Canelo being the A side, like the comment you just posted. You know what I'm saying? You know, he gets to call what size the ring is, bro. So if somebody likes to run, he probably gonna say, you know what, we're gonna cut that ring a little short.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's gonna be that. You know, and if they don't want to fight, then they don't want that money. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. You know, he's gonna call him out the way he, you know, because he went through that. He went his A side, B side fight was Mayweather, then he lost, and then the next one was against Cotto, and he won, right? Which I think that was a lot closer than the people called it, but nevertheless, on record, he won, right? So at the end of the day, he gave Cotto his respect. He won the fight, and guess what? After that, he calls the shots now. You know what I mean? People may not like it, but he is the face of boxing. Period.
Love it or hate it. Love it or hate it. You know, we were talking about this last night, man. You know, like, I mean, we got to keep the same energy across the spectrum of boxing. I mean, some of these hating channels used to defend Mayweather up and down because he used to do these things. And now that Canelo is the boss, his own matchmaker, calls the shots in boxing, the face of boxing, somehow that went from being good when Mayweather was doing it to now being totally unacceptable because Canelo is the one doing it. And my whole question is, what changed? What changed? Because
the skin complexion, bro.
You said it.
Yeah, no holds barred, bro. That's facts, bro. Because you know what I'm saying. I'm a dude that my family ranges from pale white to pitch black, but at the end of the day, what it is, you know what I'm saying. I see what it is, and what it is his skin complexion. He speaks a different language. He has a different skin complexion. That's the only difference. Because if he was from here, he spoke English. He was from fucking Detroit or something like that. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like dark skin. Yo, he be the man. They be like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like nobody fucking with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? But nah. Everybody wanna hate. You know what I'm saying? And fuck that shit, man. Canelo's Canelo. But yeah, man, I just wanted to chime off because you said people were being shy, but I was the first one with a question, so I'm not being shy, me myself personally. But it's just my phone died when I was in the car listening to you guys. I didn't even hear after the fourth person, after D Styles' question, I didn't even hear the response or anything because my phone died. And so I was charging up a little bit. Came back on, you know what I'm saying, seeing that Guido and you and Transcendent was on the panel, you know, trying to show some love real quick, but I'm about to fall back again, though.
All right, brother. Appreciate you stopping by, man.
I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Anytime, man. Anytime. And everybody subscribe to
Major
Key Boxing, man. Thank you for being here, brother.
No doubt.
So listen, man. Yordenis Ugas being elevated to the super champ. The Pac-Man Pacquiao being put on recess due to the inactivity. Thoughts on that?
Oh man, Guido, we talked about this, right, Guido? My
Yep.
Yeah. I'm a huge Manny Pacquiao fan. I'm a huge Manny Pacquiao fan. And I'll tell you what, it's a bittersweet for me. the sweetness is because now there's an unification bout. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Bitter is like, I don't think Manny Pacquiao kind of deserved that. You know what I mean? I don't honestly, because he has a political career and he can't really leave the Philippines, right? And in the Philippines, it's kind of closed right now. No one can actually leave the Philippines because of the pandemic, right? And he has responsibilities in the Philippines. But you know what? It's a bittersweet because now people can do unification by a fight, and Pacquiao can always come there. Because it's funny, because Keith Thurman, how long did he hold that belt for?
For a while, but here's the difference, though.
I'm about to educate it. All right, let's go.
No, and that's a fair question. And I blame the sanctioning bodies because they make up the rules as they go. But here's the difference between Keith Thurman.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the difference between Pacquiao. Now, the good thing about Pacquiao, he's on recess, meaning either he can just get the belt back and just as dry and as uncut as I'm telling you, or when he comes back, he's the first one in line for whoever has that belt.
Right.
So did he lose it really? Maybe not. Right? Because at the end of the day, you get to come back and that's your next fight for that belt. So Keith Thurman, on the other hand, couldn't defend it due to injuries, meaning it wasn't up to him. One of the rules stipulates is that if a boxer is not able to defend his title for things that are out of his control, they can choose to leave him as a champ or put him on recess.
Right.
Well, in the case of Keith Thurman, I guess they figured, listen, this guy actually cannot defend his title, right? So let's go ahead and leave him. With Pacquiao, is this guy has other things such as politics. So it's different. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, man, Manny Pacquiao hasn't lost anything.
Right.
That is a legend of the sport of boxing.
Right.
Manny Pacquiao hasn't lost anything. It's bittersweet to me in the sense, okay, so let me put it this way, and there might be a little bias from me when it comes to this comment. And I don't know how Guido feels about it, but I think Yordenis Ugas deserves to be mentioned as we speak. A guy that should have been a champ a long time ago. A guy that, in my opinion, beat Sean Porter. Now, keep in mind that Sean Porter that lost to Spence due to a knockdown. Are you tracking what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yordenis Ugas, in my opinion, beat Sean Porter with more ease than Spence did. Got robbed of a knockdown in the 12th round. Got robbed of the knockdown because if you go back, that was an actual legitimate by the rule book knockdown. There was a contact and there was a fall.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It just is what it is. Now, I got to tell you, I cannot stand the way the sanctioning bodies are running this stuff. Okay? I cannot stand it because it creates confusion in the sport of boxing. You don't know how the rules work. You don't know who's mandatory. You don't know who's going to be elevated, yada, yada, yada. It's such a confusion that it's like, damn, like, when are we going to get the facts straight? You know what I mean? But in other words, if Spence and Ugas happens, man, I'm happy for that fight. I understand what Spence's position was. Spence basically said, listen, I came from the dirt. Nobody gave me nothing. Just put something in your hand that's worth, and I'll give you the fight. I think I was seeing a tweet where Ugas said, Errol Spence, now I got the belt. Nothing stops you. Errol Spence replied, now you have positioned yourself. You got something that I actually want. Let's make this happen. And Rap Star in the building. Rap Star in the building. What's up, my brother?
Hey, man, I just switched it on again. You're still live, man. So let's keep this show popping, bro. Guido in the place. And we got Transcended Sports, bro.
What's up, Rap Star?
Your thoughts on
Rap Star?
Ugas?
I just want to give you a salute. Because of you, we were able to share this man's boxing knowledge and what he does within different countries because you interpreted it.
Appreciate you, man.
And
my pleasure.
if you're going to help boxers like that who are not able to fluently speak themselves and promote themselves, then we need channels like this so that we can support these boxers. Because at the end of the day, we might be from different parts of the world, but we appreciate the fucking sweet science of boxing.
Well said. Well said.
Hey guys, I got a timeout, man. I'm saying thank you for having me, bro. I gotta wake up early tomorrow, you know.
I got you.
Salute to everybody, you know what I mean?
I got you.
Guido.
I got you.
Take care. Have a good night.
Rap star, man. You know, I try, man. I try. I'm trying my best. I did the same with Morrell Jr., David Morrell Jr. I had him over here. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to have him again. We're just waiting for a couple of things to finalize for his next fight. There's some big things coming for that kid, and nobody knows. And I got to keep it to myself until he comes to the channel. I mean, you guys are going to be shocked. I don't understand why things are being facilitated for him as fast as they're being facilitated. But damn, when I'm sitting there talking to his team and they're telling me, yo, this is coming up. We're working on this. It's a done deal. And then we're waiting on this. And I'm like, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I can't remember the last time a Cuban fighter got so many things coming his way that quick, that easy. So I don't understand. I'm glad it's happening. But as of now, it has to come from his team's mouth because I'm a man of my word. I told him I would not release it, but they will release it right here.
I mean, let's not everybody apart from the casuals know that the Cuban boxing is very well known to the circuit of the amateur ranks.
Mm-hmm.
The Cubans are mostly, you know what I mean, grounded in the amateur foundation. And part of that situation is if you're not the number one guy or do anything, you're not going to get yourself into the professional rankings. And unfortunately, Cuban don't have the foundation for the professionals. And it seems to be they always get, the wrong end of the stick. I mean, we got to be honest. We were talking about racism not long ago.
Yeah.
I think boxing's racism towards Cubans.
Up to a certain level, yes, I agree with you because the minute a Cuban gets in the ring, you can't hear nothing positive. It's all like, well, is he going to put us to sleep tonight? Well, nobody likes him. Well, guess what? You're not going to help a fighter if the minute he gets in the ring, you only got negative things to say. Perfect example, last night when they put the picture of the four champions at the 168 division, after seeing Plant's performance, the commentators, watch this, Rap Star and Transcended, this is going to shock you. The commentators, not in the English side, but in the Hispanic side, instead of elevating these fighters, the only thing they said as soon as they saw those four pictures, oh yeah, I mean, David Morrell should be the easiest. He's not really a good fighter. He should be destroyed by Plant. Matter of fact, some of them thought that Plant would knock him out. And I'm like, is the hate that real that they seem to think that a Caleb Plant that couldn't knock out a 38-year-old Truex is all of a sudden going to knock out a David Morrell Jr.? But they went there, bro.
Wow, that's wow. Wow, really? Holy crap. Oh, wow.
So I get what you're saying, Rap Star. There is definitely a negative bias towards or against Cubans. We've seen it all along. As of now, man, you know what I've told some of the people that I'm in contact with, Rap Star? I'm like, do you guys realize that boxing is so appreciated in Europe and in Asia a lot more than America? Because I see Cuban fighters fight over in Europe and in America and in Asia, and the arenas are sold. You see people wanting pictures and showing the love, showing the support. I'll give you an example. When Rigondo fought Amagaza, that tall Japanese guy, at 126 or 22 pounds, and then the guy rehydrated to 146 that night, and Rigo rehydrated to 127 pounds. That fight took place in Japan. Now, it wasn't pay-per-view. It was just regular television. Watch this. 32 million homes tune in to watch that fight. 32 million homes. I've never heard of that. Ever. And that's what lets you know, damn, boxing is also appreciated outside of the United States of America.
I mean, it's a world sport, right? Boxing is a world sport.
Yeah, but don't matter how much you appreciate it, Transcended. Even if you remember, right, Raw Boxing TV, when Rigodo was the man, and he was the guy, the boogeyman. I mean, I might come from England, but I'm not a dick rider. Scott Quigg, he ducked him. Carl Frampton, he ducked him. Everybody who had a fucking title at 122 to whatever weight they were at, ducked Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux was stuck in a position, and he was facing opponents because they didn't want to face him.
Yeah.
Right? So, and let's be honest, when Nonito Donaire faced him, they put Nonito Donaire in there to beat him.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Right? And the only reason he went to fight Lomachenko is because they offered him a good money fight, which he hasn't been paid before.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why Rigondeaux, they've been treating him the way he is. But if he wasn't that good, he'll be fucked over. He'll be that wrong end of the stick. It's just because he is good and he does prove himself, he puts himself in position where he's got a world title again.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But I'm telling you now, they don't give the fair shot to Cuban fighters. So if you want to talk about racism, they're fucking racist from all the way down to Cubans, down to all these kind of fighters who don't get it in Mexico. Mexican fighters don't get it because they're stuck in Mexico. They can't speak the language. Don't matter how good they are, they're going to get fucked over. So it's people who are not, mainstream, what people can relate to, are always going to get the wrong end of the stick. And I'm half asleep, but, I know what I'm talking about.
Well, what time is it over there right now? It's like 5 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the morning, my brethren.
Hey, Rapstar, you're
man,
early,
I
bro.
appreciate you for being here, man.
Yeah, I love boxing anyway, and I'm doing some other stuff online, but keep cooking, bro.
Definitely, man. So your thoughts on Ugas being elevated, Pacquiao being stripped? Because I was telling here to Transcendent Sport right now, I don't think Pacquiao loses anything. You know what I mean? He ain't lost a damn thing. He's already a cemented legend in the sport.
Yep.
That's just it. I think Ugas, in my opinion, deserves where he's at right now. I think he's put some work. Whether he beats Spence or not, that's not the point. That's not what we're talking about. We're not even breaking the fight. We're not even talking about who wins or who loses. We're just simply saying, is the fighter deserving of what he has gotten now? I think just based on the work Ugas has put forward, based on the fact that Ugas literally got robbed versus Sean Porter, I think he does deserve it. I really do. But
I can touch on that. I think it'd be unfair to say what happens between this Manny Pacquiao situation now, as we just know that Ryan Garcia, Manny Pacquiao is not happening. Right? So you do realize that the title they've took from him is in something about what's it called? It's like, what did they say? That they'll take the title under remnants? What did they say?
Oh, so they can take the title right back from Ugas. That's right.
Yeah,
right.
So if Manny Pacquiao stays active and wants the next fight against a welterweight, I think he can fight for this WBA super title. But I might be wrong, but I think when he's ready to fight, he can fight for that title.
No, you're absolutely correct. He's been put on recess, but notice how crooked the sanctioning body is. They did not strip him because they still want him to come back and fight and get that commission. Or the 3%, whatever it is.
Yeah, because Manny's the cash cow. They want the money. They want the money.
3 or 4% of $20 or $25 million. Man, that's some money coming your way. You know what I mean? But my whole question is, if he comes back, is he going to come back and get his belt, or is he going to come back to fight Ugas? That's the question that remains to be seen, because the belt can also be removed from Ugas without Pacquiao having to fight for it, from what I've heard from some other people. And I just hate the fact that these sanctioning bodies make up the rules as they go. They do. I mean, we've seen it with the WBC. We're seeing it with the WBA. We're seeing it. So it creates all of this confusion in us as boxing fans, as content creators. And some days as content creators, we might tell you one thing, and the next thing you know, they've changed the rules. So we got to tell you another thing. And we're also contributing to that confusion. It's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, but how dumb does it sound, bro? Come on, Raw Boxing TV, you know this game on the back end. Behind closed doors, it's a different story. Now, you know Bob Arum, he's got big finances, big investors, and they can make $1 million fights, right? So isn't it in if I was the sanctioning body, wouldn't I want my relationship with people like Bob Arum?
Of course.
I would want my relationship with those promoters who can make big money fights. Correct? So at the end of the day, my relationship behind closed doors is with these fighters and make sure that Bob Arum fighters get ranked over position, whatever way they got to do it, to put them in the right position to make fights for their sanctioning body. That's just the way the business is.
Of course. That is true. And a lot of people don't realize all of the money that flows under boxing, under the table when it comes to boxing. Because we hear, oh, yeah, such and such made $2 million to fight. They don't hear how much he made on that back end with the percentage. They don't hear how much was on the networks we're putting up for the fight. They don't hear. Look, I'll put it to you this way. I know of managers that have come and have told managers and promoters that have come and told their fighter, oh, yeah, they're offering this much. Let's just put a number. $300,000 for this fight. You want it? Hell yeah, I want it. And in reality, they were being offered $400,000. So money has the ability to create enemies, to create friends. But when it comes to all of this stuff being under the table, the networks, the sanctioning bodies, the top dollar promoters, if they really wanted to bring a solution for boxing, they could. They absolutely could. The question is, why aren't they doing it? Because the means are there, the financials are there, the networks are there. It's all a matter of all of them sitting down together with the desire of working together and elevating whatever fighter they want. Think about it, people. Let's just be real for a second. Teofimo Lopez is Honduran. Honduras does not know. They don't follow boxing. They're more of a soccer nation. They're not like Mexico. Mexico is soccer and boxing. Honduras is just boxing, just soccer. But Bob Arum, his promotional companies wanted to push him. Very good fighter, and he has support. But why? He's there. He's being pushed. He's being helped alongside with the fact that he has earned it with this. Because we cannot deny that Teofimo Lopez has worked and earned everything he's got. But it always takes that little extra push from the power at being. From the people in the dark, if you know what I mean. I always think that there's always a solution for professional boxing. They just don't want to bring it, man. They just don't. That's just my opinion, man. I don't know how it is in England, Rap Star, but I don't like the way things are looking from the business aspect with some of these promoters right now.
Yeah, but it's always been like that, Raw Boxing TV. You know that.
It has, but for some
it's always been with, listen, let's be honest.
Yeah.
People still swear at Don King, but Don King fucking was the money man. They had to go through him.
Of course.
Eddie Hearn, you can say what you want, but Eddie Hearn's got the contacts, the foundation, and the finance.
Facts.
Frank
Same
Warren
thing with
is
Bob
the second
Arum.
biggest promoter in England now. Frank Warren has connections with Bob Arum and the MTK Global, as everybody knows, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to go through these promotions. Promoters own their own fighters. Now, why would Eddie Hearn want to make two? If he's got the welterweight division like El Heyman, and he can make Ugas and Spence, and he can make the money in one pot, does it make sense for Eddie Hearn to share that money? That's how he thinks about it. He doesn't think about it from your point of view. He has to think about it from a business point of view.
Yeah.
And that's where we get lost.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? The fans lose out because of the business of boxing.
Always.
It's not really the fighters. You see these new fans coming on this internet gangster bullshit, always swearing at fighters and always being racist and stuff like that. It's got nothing to do with the fucking fighters. The fighters are in the boxing business because they want to fight. They know they got to fight.
Of course.
It's the promoters, the management, the people in between. Just look at the chat. They say 40-50% gets missing between promotions, companies,
facts,
and everything else before they see the purse. And these boxers, they can't hide their money. They got to pay 40% taxes in America, and I think it's 28% in England.
Wow.
So you can imagine a 40% that you lose from $1 million. That's gone to the government, bro.
Wow.
So,
And that's not counting.
you know, it is what it is, but there's too much business politics behind the fights. And we as fans, what we're looking for is not what companies and sanctioning bodies and business foundation of boxing is looking for.
And you know what? To add to that, now maybe that's the reason why fighters want more money, because you know they're putting their life on the line and they pay so much, right? They're the one who's getting hit. They're the one whose life is on the line. You know, who knows? They might not wake up the next day. So I can understand why fighters kind of want more money. I get it.
I've never been mad at fighters asking for the bag. You know what makes me mad from some fighters sometimes? I'll give you an example. Let's take Caleb Plant, for example. Okay. How many times do we hear Caleb Plant talking about, well, I need this much. Well, I'm the dog of the division. Well, I'm this, I'm that. Then he gets a call from Canelo. He turns it down. My damn, dude. Sometimes you just have to take a sacrifice fight. If you say you don't have 30 days, you should have been ready if you're expecting a call from Canelo. Say you're not making what you want in that fight. Say you want 15 million because it's Canelo, but in reality, they're only giving you 10. Take the damn 10. If you truly believe you can win. Win if you can, and then you can demand more. I get that the fighters want the bag. I want them to get the money. I want them to be not millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, whatever they can be, because they don't have a retirement plan. They don't have a 401k. They don't have medical insurance. They don't have any of that. All they got to fall back on is whatever they make us boxers. And then, as Rapstar was just stating, all of the fees they have to pay, and that is not even counting the 30 to 33% that goes to the managers.
So let me share with everybody.
The 10% that goes to the trainer. Go ahead, brother.
I just want to share this knowledge. A drug test from USADA, VADA, every drug test is over $16,000.
Correct.
And Floyd Mayweather used to pay $120,000 per drug test for the whole fight. Drug tests can go up to 120, and most of the drug tests average around $35,000 to $37,000. Now, these are the hidden fees that people don't know. People don't know about this shit, bro.
Yeah, that is true. And you know, another hidden fee that's never talked about, Rapstar. A matter of fact, I can guarantee you've never even heard of this on TV. Maybe you've heard it on the closed circuit in England, in the gyms, but never on TV. Is when a promoter comes and say, "Hey, Rapstar, you got this training camp coming up. Oh yeah. You're getting this much. Oh sure. Hey, I'm gonna send you $100,000. All right." That money, the promoter's giving it to you, but that money he's gonna take you right back out of your purse, not counting his cut of the pie. And a lot of these fighters, when they put, for example, a training camp, high-level fighters, mid-level fighters, and require a certain level of sparring partner, that doesn't come free. Training camp expenses can go. So at mid-level, the most expensive training camp at a mid-level, when I mean mid-level, is a fighter making $1 million or less. The most expensive training camp I've heard was $187,530.
Yeah. Do you mind if I acknowledge your chat?
I don't mind. I don't mind.
A very, knowledgeable dude, G Funky, says, how come Mayweather used to pay so much more money than others?
Because he used to make more.
I mean, it's very hard to say why he pays so much, but he had a great relationship with the USADA. And what we got to recognize is we know the relationship Mayweather had with those drug testing enforcement companies. But what we got also know is once Mayweather got caught taking
an IV.
What was it? Yeah, an IV.
It was a vitamin IV.
It was a vitamin IV. He didn't ask him. But, they put it under therapy and they worked it out. So did Mayweather get, I don't know, did he get treated differently?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did. And you know what? Let me add it. I don't know if this is true. I'm pretty sure it's true. You can't get his blood test. It's sealed. Mayweather's blood tests are sealed.
That's true. I've heard that. You're not the first one. I've heard that from several people. And I heard that I've heard that they can release up to a certain amount of information, but not 100% of the information. But I'll go as far as saying this because I also want to keep the same energy. Look, I think some of the things that are enforced by the drug testing companies can be a bit stupid, a bit strict, like the vitamins. And here's why. As an ex-fighter, I can tell you, you can take your multivitamins, your direct vitamins, all the way throughout training camp. Now, I don't know if an IV, if IV via a vitamin via IV is much potent. I do know it's more direct. It works quicker instead of a vitamin through the mouth or via liquid that needs to go and be processed through your body and all that good stuff. Maybe the vitamin through the vein, it's a quicker effect. But at the end of the day, every fighter does takes their complete package of supplementation. And in the package of supplementation comes a general intake of all of the vitamins, which is ultimately what an IV or a vitamin IV is. Now, if the law says it's illegal, it's illegal. For them to just say, well, we'll put it as treatments for now, Mr. Mayweather.
Right.
That right there tells you, yeah, because we still want you to keep paying $130,000. Okay, Mr. Mayweather? Now, did the vitamins help Mayweather beat people? Maybe not. Maybe he did. But at the end of the day, it's important to keep in mind, we as fighters always take our full package of multivitamins in preparation for fight, minerals, good nutrition. But if the law stipulates that an IV full of vitamins, it's illegal, it shouldn't be just shoved under the rug. You know what I mean? Regardless of who you are as a fighter. Because we got to, I mean, you got to treat fighters with the same energy. Regardless if you're getting paid $140,000 from one and $16,000 from another, you're still being paid thousands of dollars for a drug test. You know what I mean?
So that IV thing, that was for the Pacquiao fight, right?
Even before the Pacquiao, he's done it several times in reality. And to be honest with you, seeing the way he was treated, I'm pretty sure he's done it for every fight, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Because so that's not the only time he got caught.
I'm not sure of that. Rapstar will have to answer that one for you.
Yeah. Was it that the only time he got caught, or he's already doing it before?
I mean, that's what we know of, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
As of now. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have anything else to say that we know Mayweather was cheating.
Yeah.
But what we do know is Mayweather had a great relationship. And just like people said, he used to pay way more. One thing we also do know is, you know, nutritionist people who work with Mayweather, they get a whole platform of drugs that you're allowed to take 6 weeks before they change laws. Just like they did with Canelo. They boycotted him with that little tiny bit of whatever they found, which a whole bunch of thousands of people in the Olympics, and it's happened for years. And then they changed the dosages.
Yeah.
You see, so this is where Mayweather was ahead of the game. His nutritionists and people were way ahead of the game. They knew what enhanced drugs to take in order to wean off, if they were taking them, and making sure that they're going through the right channels. I mean, this is boxing, bro. 95% of people do take something.
Of course.
You do realize the other 5% is probably the people who've coming and not had the chance to take something. What do we know? You know, legends have took something. Roy Jones Jr. took something. Shane Mosley took something. These are fighters that we look up to. They're Hall of Fame, bro.
Yep. It's the dirty aspect of the sport we love. And unfortunately, man, it doesn't matter what laws or regulations they come up with. There's always that smart genius that knows how to bypass it. I mean, for example, let's get out of boxing for a minute. Look at the years Lance Armstrong was able to get away with the amounts of PEDs that he did, and blood transfusion and blood regeneration. And look at all of the tests. He was at one point the most tested athlete in history. Had it not been for a confession, they never proved nothing through a test because of Dr. Ferrari. Dr. Ferrari was able to figure out how to bypass this test. What makes us think we don't have a Dr. Ferrari in boxing, in MMA, in any other sport, for goodness sakes? Think about it.
And can I add to that? Something is,
yeah, go ahead.
When Lance Armstrong right. When he came out with that confession, man, I was heartbroken because I was like, because I looked at that guy, I was like, dude, this guy has 7 titles, 7, right? And in the most hard race of them all, right? And I was like, dang, I can't believe he actually did that. So I'm like, and then I started wondering, so if he can do this for years, what about other athletes? You know, what about them? Right?
I got to be real with you so we can get back into boxing. I still consider him the champ because in the sport full of cheaters, he was the best cheater of them all. Can't nobody tell me that the cyclists were all clean. No, hell no.
No.
Hell no. He was just a better cheater. So to me, all that politics, we've removed the yellow jerseys. He's erased from history. No, he ain't. You still got a gap of 7 years that you gotta cover. And at the end of the day, reality tells us that it was Lance Armstrong. So getting back to boxing, getting back to the sport we love. What should we expect from Ryan Garcia, man? Because I think things have gone south. I mean, he had pretty much people were very excited about a potential fight with Tank Davis. Things were moving in the right direction. Next thing you know, we get hit with the exhibition rumors. Next thing you know, we got rumors that no, it's not an exhibition. It's a real fight. And now we have Golden Boy executives saying, no, nothing's going to happen. And now Tank Davis is like, oh, so you went for him and not me? Bye-bye. I'm not interested. What are we to expect? Rapstar, I'll hear from you first, man.
Hey, do you mind if we go to trans then? Because I'm just doing an email and then we get back to
Sure. Trans, take it over.
All right. So thoughts of Ryan Garcia? What's going on with Ryan Garcia? Man, I don't. It's a lot of drama, bro. I can tell you that it's just a lot of drama. Look, I really wanted him to fight Tank, right? Because I thought that was the direction was everyone is going, and then we all got surprised with the Manny Pacquiao thing, right? We all got surprised with that. I really think Ryan should just focus on Tank. You know, I think Ryan really wants to fight Tank, and I think he should fight Tank. Not with the Manny Pacquiao. I think he should fight with Tank.
I agree, man. My only concern is because we got to think Tank Davis is with Mayweather. My only concern is the genius behind Mayweather to make fights happen, to make fighters wait, can take advantage of this situation, can deviate Tanks through other avenues, make sure Tanks makes more money. We may not get a fight with Tank for a while. And to be honest with you, if you were to put a poll right now, who would you rather see Tank Davis fight next? David Haney or Ryan Garcia? I can guarantee you the majority will go towards Ryan Garcia. Not knocking David Haney. I absolutely like the purist. But excitement is what the boxing fan today is looking for, unfortunately. And I do mean it when I say unfortunately. Because in their pursuit of excitement, they're depriving themselves from learning from the sweet science. But the fan is the client, and the client always has to get what he is demanding. My only fear is, man, how long before we actually get to see this fight take place, man? To be honest with you.
I don't know, bro. You were right about the Mayweather effect. You know, they have strategies that we don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't know, and we're all just basing on this in theories, right? We're just trying to think this might happen, this might happen. We don't know what's happening behind closed doors, right? So I really think Ryan and Tank will be would fight pretty soon, but we just don't know when though.
Yeah.
We just don't know when. But hey, if Ryan gets the Pacquiao fight, hopefully he doesn't.
No, it's not gonna.
Yeah, but let's just say he did. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
An argument sake, let's say he did. So he fight Pacquiao and he loses. He has all the money. Do you think he has a motivation to fight Tank at that moment?
No, that's the exit way. Because
Right.
he has stated that he doesn't want to stay in boxing for long. To remind those that are just now coming in, guys, if you can hit the thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. You missed out on an excellent interview with Frank Sanchez. I recommend you guys to rewind this whole video to the very beginning. You're gonna love the interview, the way he interacted with the subscribers here. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. So I recommend you guys.
Yeah, I'm back. So,
So
I can touch on those views once you're ready.
Give me your thought. Because of this whole ordeal going south for Ryan, you know, we were all excited about a potential clash with Tank. Then we get hit with an exhibition with Pacquiao. Then, oh no, it's not an exhibition, it's a real fight. Then, no, the fight's not going to happen. And Tank saying, oh yeah, I'm out. I'm done with Ryan. My question to you is, man, has that put that fight to the back burner now? Are we going to get that fight? And if so, how long do you think it's going to happen?
So do you mind if I keep it the same level head energy, right?
Keep the same level.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We never heard nothing from Manny Pacquiao, while Ryan Garcia called Manny Pacquiao's name out 100 times in this last 2 weeks.
Yes.
That man never even squeaked about Ryan Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds a bit like clout chasing if the fight didn't happen, even if it was an exhibition or a fight. Ryan Garcia, I don't know why he's making I know he's excited, but he's doing okay. He just fucking stopped a fighter what Lomachenko couldn't stop.
Correct.
Ryan Garcia showed everybody he got big balls and he got a chin and he can belong in the lightweight division. So now, with all that fucking noise, calling Manny Pacquiao every fucking day, he needs to fight someone big. And because Tank Davis never called him out, he called Tank Davis out. Remember that. So this energy now, Ryan Garcia has put himself in a position, if it's not a big fight, people are going to start getting fucking hateful to him because he's put himself in that position.
That's true.
He has to make a big fight now, bro, or he's going to be the next one getting hate. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but I know boxing, when you make it level-headed, Ryan Garcia have been making a lot of noise lately.
He was. I mean, think about it, for example. Think about it. He was looked at as just a pretty boy, fighting just low-level opposition, right? Everybody had in their head, what happens if this kid touches the canvas? Then that happens with Luke. What does he do? He gets back up. He doesn't run away. He comes to the middle of the ring. He stays in the front. He keeps applying pressure. He starts breaking Luke. Little by little, he starts breaking Luke. Next thing you know, man, he gets him out of there. He answers question. Now, I covered that fight live. I was excited as hell. Although I had Luke winning at the time of the stoppage, I had Luke up by 1 point. I was excited as hell. And man, when he started making the noise that night in the arena, he started pushing for Tank. Haney was there. And I was, as a boxing fan, I'm like, damn, yeah, that's a good fight. You know, let's see who comes next. But then things started taking serious. He actually went as far as saying, Tank, if you don't fight me, your legacy will never be cemented. My question now is his legacy going to be cemented for not fighting Tank? Because there are talks that they're working on the back end for Teofimo Lopez. Man, I'm tired. I just need to know who's fighting who at the lightweight division. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Ryan Garcia's real fight, if you want to keep the same energy, everyone in the chat, in boxing, if you're a hardcore fan, Ryan Garcia's fight in the boxing terms should have been Devin Haney.
To get him out of there just because of all the...
Look, Devin Haney is regardless whether you like it or not, he's a WBC champion.
Mm-hmm.
So if Ryan Garcia is going to get a belt by fighting Devin Haney, so why is he ducking that smoke? Can you explain that to me, Raw Boxing? Because look, that's the guy with the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And if Teofimo Lopez is busy, you have Devin Haney. Now let's keep the real energy for Devin Haney. Why they're not calling his name? You can make millions of dollars with him too. You can take his title. If he's an email champion, we'll fucking beat him then.
Yeah.
I mean, keep the same energy. People don't want to call Devin Haney's name. Are they ducking Devin Haney, Raw Boxing?
I think here's the deal. And one thing I've given credit to the Haneys for is wanting everybody's smoke. I've made that very clear on my videos. You know, you don't hear of fighters nowadays just calling everybody out. I cannot knock Bill Haney for going after everybody, for working as hard as he is to get a fight on his son. I think that up to a certain level, some fighters are avoiding David Haney, and here's why. Here's why. I think that right now, David Haney can really, really outbox just about everybody in that division. I do think Teofimo Lopez can give him a run for his money and possibly beat him, but it's so close. I always appreciate the boxing expert. To me, David Haney has a lot of skills, man. Yes, he might have pillow fists, but at the end of the day, those pillow fists can take you 12 rounds and beat you. That's what people don't realize. You don't need to knock everybody out to beat him in boxing. Is Haney being ducked? Listen, it's a fact. Look, Samson came out and said, nah, we was ducking you for a long time. You know? Oh, well, Fortuna was not. No, Fortuna. We was ducking you for a long time. If you ask me why Ryan Garcia went after Tank, money. Because they figured, you know, Haney has a mandatory as well in Fortuna and Ryan Garcia. Both of them are mandatories. Either of those two fights could have happened. I guess this is just me speaking, my theory, my conspiracy, if you want to call it. I guess Ryan just said, look, I'm going to go get the paper over there and he can fight Fortuna.
Yeah, but how does that make Ryan Garcia look? Because let's be honest.
No, let's
keep it real.
Yeah.
In the history of the sport, when have you seen a guy as an interim champion beat another guy and say, I'm not going to fight the guy with the world title? I'm going to go for this guy.
If you want to come in, man, I'm sorry. We were just chopping it up, man.
I mean, just give me an answer, everyone. When in the history of the sport have you seen a man, apart from Riddick Bowe, who threw his title away, right? Who have we known when you've got a chance to take the title off Devin Haney? Why are you chasing somebody else?
Yeah, correct.
That means you got no respect for boxing.
Edwin Solano dropped out. He wasn't speaking though. I don't know if he couldn't hear.
I think he froze, bro. I think he froze. Yeah, and then he came out.
Tell me another champion who's done that. Raw Boxing TV.
I don't think I remember one off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
So why should Ryan Garcia be given so many privileges? I'm just saying, keep it real.
No. And you're right. And you know one thing I've criticized Golden Boy specifically for with the case of Ryan Garcia, because I think Ryan Garcia is so good that you can make a champion out of him. You can make a huge megastar out of him. But one thing I've criticized Golden Boy for is, and they're using Ryan Garcia as a piggy right off of this, is the fact that, who cares about the belts? He's the man. Come get him. And they're allowing Ryan Garcia to make certain moves that, in my opinion, should not be happening. Ryan Garcia has enough skills to be great in boxing. But to be honest with you, there's a reason Golden Boy has the worst stable there is right now, or the smallest stable when it comes to talent.
I just hope your chat realized, like Rodolfo, can you pronounce his name? Rodolfo Guevara? Is that how you pronounce his name? Subscribe. Yeah. He says, I don't think the fight was going to happen due to networks. Bullshit. That's bullshit, Rodolfo. And let me tell you why that's bullshit. Eddie Hearn's already working with Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn works with fucking Oscar De La Hoya.
Always.
That fight with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia has no fucking excuses. And that's apart from a duck. And that's the truth, though, Raw. Because you call other people a duck, well, then you got to call Ryan Garcia a duck. He's going for a fight with Tank Davis and Manny Pacquiao and not calling Devin Haney. Devin Haney's got a world champion. If you beat Devin Haney, do you know how many people would say, Ryan Garcia, you are the real world champion? You just took out the guy that people had doubts about.
Yeah, I mean, that is when you eliminate avoided fighters, when you're the one to eliminate them, it puts you at a pedestal. And it is true what G Funky here is saying. He has been untested. I mean, when you look at the competition he's fought, it gives you a lot to desire. But from the eye test, from the skills he has shown, maybe he's that type of fighter that only shows depending on what he's got in front of him. Could Ryan Garcia be the man to beat him? Maybe. They know each other very well. And it doesn't matter who won more in the amateurs or who won less. Remember, that does not matter. In the pros, things can take a turn, right? But I do get Rapstar's point. You know, had Ryan Garcia fought Haney and beat him, oh, that would have placed him there, man. That would have placed him there to be the guy taking a snip out of the tails of Teofimo Lopez. And then can you imagine if he fights Teofimo Lopez and beats Teofimo Lopez? Damn. What would have been Ryan Garcia? The man, the one and only. I get what you're saying, Rapstar.
Yeah.
I don't like that some of the move. Edwin Solano, I don't know what's going on. Let me see. I'll add him again. Can you hear me now, Solano?
Yes, sir. My bad, guys. I had to do something with my baby.
No problem, man. Babies first. Family comes first. I just don't understand.
And you know, let me just tell you this. I know some Mexican fighters. I'm in the boxing. I've been around boxing for 15, 17 years. And real Mexican fighters like Chavez Sr., the real guys, they would not respect Ryan Garcia. They would say, no, you need to go fight the champion.
Mm.
Why the fuck are you ducking the champion? Go fight the champion and go take that belt. Right? And I can't believe today's Mexican fans, and I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
They're more modern. They're more American. They got a soft spot for him. Tell me if I'm right. And the truth is, they're supporting Ryan Garcia with all this fuckery with Manny Pacquiao and Tank Davis, where really he should be fighting Devin Haney. And that's true boxing.
Yeah. And not only is true, but you know, also, man, I think everybody plays a bit of a fault here, because you see what G-Funk is saying here. When you look at Bill Haney speak, when you look at Haney's fans speak, when you even hear people in the network speaking, man, and that's pretty much what they talk about. Well, he did this and that on sparring. Well, do you know he did this and that on sparring? Well, I don't care about sparring. I think that although they're putting pressure and calling everybody out, you know what I truly think, Rapstar? I'm going to relate it to the Deontay Wilder case. I think that the amount of boxing channels in YouTube that follow Deontay Wilder and make the excuses for Wilder are also doing the exact same thing with Haney, and it's creating a sour taste and a bad image in the eyes of the fan because of these channels. Because believe it or not, buddy, the power that the YTBC has gotten, it's amazing. But I agree. I mean, Haney, to me, if he's got a belt, whether it was given for Christmas or whatever, we'll just go take it, get him out of there, and then become the guy. You know what I mean? But I think
because as
all the money
fans,
moves, all of the money moves that are being made, man, especially by Oscar De La Hoya, by Golden Boy, I'm not a fan of it, because look what we're talking about right now.
As boxing real fans, right? Teofimo Lopez shouldn't be getting shamed to fight Devin Haney. He's already passed all of them. Teofimo Lopez already showed all of them that I'm in a different league now. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney need to fight. And the winner of that fight need to fight Teofimo Lopez. That's
Correct.
the real way that it should happen. Now tell me if I'm wrong, but that would be an amazing way. That's the way boxing should happen. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney fight for that title. The winner fights Teofimo Lopez. You can't fucking shame Teofimo Lopez. He's already done it.
And he's earned it. Thoughts on this, Transcendent and Edwin? I'll go to you first, because you two are quiet, man.
No, now you guys are talking. I don't like interrupting. But anyways, I just think, to be honest with you, that win against Campbell got to his head. I never seen someone celebrate so big on a gateway fight. You know what I mean? Campbell was just Campbell was so. I don't want to say he was overrated or underrated. I'm not gonna say that, but it was just too much. Like, he celebrated like he won, like he was undisputed or something. So, and then the way he the way he's shaming everybody down, like the belts, and Loma was this, Loma was that. Like, come on, bro, like, chill. Like, you're not that good. Like, you didn't beat anybody great.
Yeah.
So and then I think that's what the Mexican fans are kind of. I think he's getting that, like, De La Hoya treatment, but I think De La Hoya holds him down though. Like, De La Hoya has a little jealousy, I think, too. because he probably sees himself with him, and then he kind of wants to not, I guess, have the same legacy. I don't know, but it's weird. Like the way he promoted him is very, very weird.
But if you think about it, Edwin, he wouldn't have De La Hoya's same legacy. Starting for the fact that De La Hoya is a gold medalist and Ryan is and can never be.
Right. No, yeah. No, I'm with you, but it's just weird. Like I don't know if because he's better looking. I don't know. It's weird.
You never know.
You know, like I don't know. It's just weird. Like the whole dynamic. But I think it was just like over the top. The celebration, everything, the way he just going about it. It's so weird. Do
you think that it was a weird celebration, or do you think that he even answered himself a question by getting up and stopping this guy, and he was just overwhelmed with emotion? Which one of the thought? Because that is also a possibility. Remember, emotions can also play a big part on these things.
No, which is great, but then like the way he just interviews and everything, it's just so big headed. Like it just like he beat somebody.
Leaning.
You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, if he bet Teofimo, I get it, you know, and I'll give him all the props, but then you could celebrate however you want. But I just see the difference between Teofimo, right? And the interview when Teofimo won, it was like, nah, I'm not even top 5. Like I'm not even top 7. Like I'm fighting for like legacy, and I want to fight. And to me, Garcia is like more fake. I don't know. It just doesn't hit me right. Like it doesn't.
I mean, but we got.
And in regards to Edwin.
We got to appreciate Garcia proved in the Luke Campbell fight that he belongs in the top 5 welterweight. He proved it to the world.
No, yeah. You know, I give him all the credit. I'm just saying the way he's
Lomachenko never stopped Luke Campbell, bro. Linares couldn't stop Luke Campbell. Ryan Garcia fucking put such a body shot to him and knocked him the fuck out.
No, no, and no, I'm not taking no credit from like it's not. It's just the way he just like handles himself after that kind of, you know, and the way he just saying Loma is not that good, and then just bringing Teofimo down, and that the belts are not even valid anymore, and this and that. It just like chill, bro. You just be Campbell. Like don't. You know, I just feel like he's too big headed.
You know, I can say that, Edwin, but who the fuck is Tank Davis for? Tank Davis hasn't fought.
No, and that's why I love Teofimo. Like my dude is Teofimo. Tank to me, it's the same way too. Like
I think what Edwin, if I'm not mistaken, what Edwin is trying to say is, yeah, congratulations, you had a great victory, but the celebration was out of place, if that's what I'm getting from you.
Yeah, no, and also like the way he interviews, it's just so like just shaming the way he shamed Teofimo and the belts and the whole body. Like he's bigger than boxing. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
He's like it's almost like he's bigger. That's the thing that
you know who I blame? I blame Golden Boy Promotion, because I guarantee you he was instructed. Listen, at the end of the day, look at what De La Hoya says. Champions. He doesn't need champions. Champions need him. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Teofimo Lopez needs Ryan? No, it's the other way around, homie.
Yeah, and that's where I'm coming from.
Because the kid brings 7 million subscribers, which 6.5 million of those are high school cheerleaders. You're going to tell me that all of a sudden champions are devalued and he's over the no.
Right.
So I'm not going to say every fan of Ryan Garcia is like that, but we also understand the amounts of fans that he brings into the sport that know nothing about the sport. And that's why a promoter can take advantage of that to create that level of nonsense. Yeah. So yes, Ryan Garcia has some blame on this, but I blame the promotional company, Transcendent Sport. Give me your thoughts on this.
I mean, I agree with all of your statements. Like, you know, honestly, it's just gonna be an outgoing drama with Ryan Garcia, right? It's just gonna be outgoing, and you know why? It's because of his presence in social media. Like he can say whatever he wants, and it's gonna be featured on this or this or this because he has that power, because he has that following, right? Right? He has that following. So, honestly, I feel like Ryan just needs to fight. Just needs to keep his head down and fight and just prove everybody wrong. But we all know that's not going to happen because he has the social media following, and so he can do whatever he wants, right? And bear in mind with the Pacquiao fights, because people are saying, oh, the reason why it may be a good fight is because he has a lot of following. Yeah, that's true. Ryan has a lot of following, right? He does because of this generation, of the social media generation, those stuff. I just think with the I give him a lot of credit with the Campbell with Luke, right? Because he got knocked down and he showed up and he fought back, right?
Yeah.
And nobody stopped Luke like that, right? We all know that, right? Nobody stopped Luke like that. So I give him a lot of credit. I mean, if you by the way, Edwin, what's up, buddy? And the
Hey,
thing
what's
is,
up, buddy?
and when I mean, let's be honest, if you beat a fighter and you knock them down, you will get high emotions as well. Right, I would go crazy too. I would have gone crazy and started calling people out. I would have did the same thing. But I kind of get it. To that,
I want to give you an example. Like Trinidad, remember when he got knocked down by Campas, and then he came back up and just not like
destroyed him.
I didn't see that. Like I didn't see like that big seller. Like, you know what I mean? And the other thing too that damn, that it went my train of mind just. But yeah, no, it just to me was just like he's too big headed to me, and
you think he
hopefully, yeah, like yeah, it's just too much for a win against Campbell. You know what I mean? It's not like he beat Haney. It's not like he beat Teofimo. That's why I'm just coming from.
Yeah, but you know what's the weirdest thing?
Yeah.
If I ask everybody in the chat, or I ask boxing hardcore people, where do you rate Ryan Garcia in the world in lightweight? He'll be number 3, really, because of that win. So if you really want to take it away from him, you can. But he's the number 3 lightweight proven on record on paper.
No, you're right.
So you gotta know it's got to his head, because he knows, he believes in himself. Maybe Ryan believes in himself. Maybe Ryan thinks, I don't give a fuck. I'll beat these guys. So I'm gonna bring it. And I'm going to sing it. Because what did Floyd Mayweather do? He used to tease the fans.
You know another thing too, though.
We got Spain in the house. Spain in the house. MMA. What's going on, my brother? Talk to us.
What's up?
Welcome to the chat, man, for the first time. I don't think I've seen you here before. Appreciate you being here. Talk to us.
I have a question. Do you think Ryan Garcia beats Teofimo?
I think Teofimo right now cannot be beaten. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But here's why, and I might be wrong again. Boxing always shoots a bunch of surprises at us. When I remember about 7 months ago, I was doing my very first live here on YouTube, and I was asked a question between Lomachenko and Teofimo. Who do you think I would win? And I said, I'm choosing Teofimo Lopez to win. And the reason I chose Teofimo Lopez to win was simply for 2 facts. One, the kid has power. That's one. And not necessarily just that. When you can box, which is obvious that he can box, when you have power, but then you know when to time and set traps. You know how many world champions today do not know how to set traps at a mid-range? If I was to tell you, it would shock you. But that's something Teofimo Lopez does, and that's something that I don't never hear nobody talk about.
I understand.
The kid knows how to feint, set traps at the mid-range, and catch you. And when he catches you, there's something about his power that we may not know, that when the fighters are getting hit, they start taking a step back and not fighting their fight. The only one I've ever seen pushing forward, and that's just because he doesn't give a damn if he dies in the ring, is Nakatani from the Yarikawa.
We saw,
By the way, Yarikawa is not even a real thing. That's just, I play a video game. It's a Japanese samurai, and I just add that stuff on there.
Raw boxing, but we did see, Teofimo again touched up by Loma in the 12th round, getting backed up. Can he really, get fire on the back foot?
Watch this though, brother. When we talk Loma, we're not talking about an average fighter. So we can't expect him to go in against Loma and just do good and not get touched. When you have the level of opposition that we had in the ring that night, it was a coin toss for the boxing world. So
It was
for us to sit here and think that a fighter like Lomachenko, the levels of Lomachenko, the experience of Lomachenko, for us to sit here and think that he wasn't going to do nothing, that's a bit crazy to me. I actually expected more from Lomachenko, to be honest with you. Even though I knew or I had picked Teofimo Lopez to win, I was expecting a lot more from Lomachenko. But let me tell you something, if you go back and watch that fight, in that second round, I think Lomachenko tasted a bit of that sting. And after that, he didn't commit anymore. Teofimo took advantage of that. So that's what I'm saying. There's something there that we're not seeing from Teofimo Lopez. There's something there that we're overlooking that he does great. What is that?
Well, can I say what that something is? Has
Go ahead.
anyone in this panel been in a boxing ring before?
Go ahead.
No,
Okay.
go ahead, Raf.
I have.
Right. So when you're in the
Yeah,
ring, right?
I have.
And this is no word of lie. I've been in there with a smaller guy years ago, but he punched so vicious on my arms and on the side of my body. I felt his power on my arms straight away. And you know when you feel a power like that and it doesn't hit you flush, but you see the power and you feel it on your arms, you can tell how strong a boxer is.
Correct.
And Lomachenko took those punches, and when he took them on his arms and his elbows and the side of his body,
he felt the sting.
He felt a different kind of sting. And he said, I'm not ready to break this guy down. This guy's got too much pop. So
But
he
what
said, I'm
you-
going to wait. He said, I'm going to wait around and I'm going to try and weather the storm. But the storm never came.
Correct. Now, but Raptor,
sorry,
let me
go
ask you a question. Weren't you surprised yourself the fact that even though Lomachenko said, I'm not ready to commit, but I'm going to box him, weren't you surprised that Teofimo Lopez said, all right, you want to box? I'll pressure box you. I'll beat you at your own game. And he did, because let's be real here. Not everybody thought Lomachenko was going to outbox Teofimo. That's just being real. You know what I mean? I agree with you. There is that sting because I saw it in that fight. Go back and look at the second round specifically. That round specifically should let you know what Rapstar just said. He felt that and he said, let me go to that B plan because there was something here I didn't like. But to go back to your question, MMA, with the level of opposition that Lomachenko is, it's okay if he did something against Lopez. It was expected from a fighter of that caliber. So right now, boxing can always shock you. I just don't think that if Teofimo Lopez stays as focused, as committed, and as disciplined as he has been so far, I don't see him being beat. I just don't see him being beat by not even by Haney. Because what's going to happen the minute Haney gets touched? That's the question that remains. What's going to happen? Look, Nakatani is the toughest fighter I've seen in the last 10 years at 135 pounds. Easily. Low level? I mean, look at the guy, the way he just keeps coming, the way that he literally got destroyed, the way he came back against Verdejo with his eye not being fully healed, took damage all over again, busted both of his lips, came back and still won. Who caused that damage?
I don't know because
I'll tell you who caused that damage initially.
No, I was talking about, I don't know if Haney has a chin because, Teofimo Lopez Sr. said to Bill Haney, he said, you know what my son did to your son in sparring, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but MMA, can I ask you this? Can you
Yeah, go ahead.
imagine if Devin Haney's got a chin like Ryan Garcia even? He's dangerous.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine
that
if Devin
means-
Haney's got a chin? He'd be dangerous in the lightweight division, bro.
If Devin Haney had a chin, he would, because his style is boxing, and if you have a chin on top of that, you really can't be stopped. Really, you can't be. It's like you can't be beaten like that, bro. But yeah,
But there's other ways to break a fighter, MMA.
yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with Rapstar. Such a slick fighter, such a well-educated boxer. On top of that, having a good chin, it's all of a sudden a very dangerous opponent, regardless whether he possesses power or not. But you know that one of the most ignored things in the professional boxing realm right now by American fighters and parts of Europe or some European fighters is the body work. Why do you think Mexican fighters are so successful? One of the things Mexican fighters do is destroy the body constantly, chop you, chop you, chop you. Somehow we see a lot of American fighters, they want to look pretty, right? All slick. They want to tap you with that jab to the head. Wait a minute. You got a slickster in front of you. His head is going to be hard to touch. What do? You go downstairs. What did Canelo do with Smith?
Facts.
What did Canelo do with Smith? He was fighting Goliath.
He went to the body.
And
so he went to the body and chopped him.
He destroyed his arm too. Yo, his arm is destroyed.
So when you tell me Haney is dangerous, absolutely. Absolutely. But there's something about Lopez's power. When he touches you, it makes you think. And you don't have to break Haney to the head. One of the best ways to take that jab away, keep him at mid-range, time within time. When you see the jab coming, shoot. You know it's not going to hurt you. Take it, but give him one of your own. Time it. When you see the jab coming, slip it. Let that jab fall on your right shoulder, while at the same time you land in a right hook to the rib cage under Haney's jab, which is a lot of fighters don't even do that. The last time I saw a perfectly timed under the jab right hook to the body, you know who did it? Roy Jones Jr. The last time I saw that. Go back in the boxing archives. You will never see that again until you see Roy Jones Jr. do it.
Yeah, but one thing you got to remember about Lopez, he's a great counter puncher.
He is.
And you know, with Lopez, yeah, he's not just a great counter puncher, just like what G Funky said. His timing is fucking amazing. You see, Lopez is a fighter. You can see that this kid's not just looking, he's waiting not to set you up. He's constantly on you.
Yep.
And you know, the aggression that he brings to you, it's hard for you to start to, you know, get in your groove. If Lomachenko couldn't get in his groove, how the fuck you think Devin Haney's going to get in his groove?
I don't think so either.
I mean, it's hard.
But
you know what I mean?
And, you know, people want to say, oh, well, Lopez needs to be sitting still in order to deliver his punches. No, he doesn't. That's what he's done because his opponents have allowed him. But if you look at Lopez in the amateurs, because let's not sit here and assume that because he's a professional, all of a sudden he forgot everything he used to do as an amateur. That never goes away. That just always stays there in the tool bag for whenever is the time to use it. The kid can fight going backwards. The kid can give you angles. He can jab to either side, either pro clock or counterclockwise, which a lot of fighters still don't do today. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm so high on Lopez, but I'm high on Lopez because of the things he does.
Another thing, you know, I think this would be Haney's downfall. He does not, like, you know, really do combinations. It's like a one hit and then he goes back to his defense. I think he needs to, you know, do more combinations because that's going to lose him the fight with more, you know, aggressive and more active fighters who throw a lot of punches. So yeah. I think Haney needs to, you know, do more combinations and stop trying to be fancy all the time.
Look, for all we know, Haney has done what he needs to do against the opposition he's had in front of him, right? We just don't know. I'll just say this. If Haney fights the way he's been fighting against Lopez, he just doesn't have the volume, the output to keep Lopez away from him, let alone the power. I just see Lopez running through him.
How many times have you heard timing beats speed?
Always.
You know, you got to remember this. In boxing, doesn't matter how fast someone is. If they ain't got timing like you, they're in fucking trouble.
For sure. For sure. Well, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up here, man, pretty soon, man. I really want to appreciate everybody that took part in this live tonight, man. Rapstar, I appreciate the support you're giving me. Transcendence, Edwin Solano. Go ahead, brother. Talk.
Quick question. What do you think he learned from that Loma fight? He said he learned like new stuff from Loma. What do you think is the...
I'll tell you one of the things he probably learned. Watch Lomachenko in the past. the way he will give you angles, the way he will move his hands while at the same time being able to implement punches as he's moving his feet. Lomachenko will move, hook, move, hook, move, hook. Lomachenko will do crazy upper body work, upper body movement, weird angles. He will bring his punches from. He was able to neutralize Lomachenko. First, he neutralized his movement, and then he neutralized his punches. The way he would bring punches from weird angles. Because other than that, Lomachenko does what every other good boxer does. He knows how to time your jab. He can put a jab. He can put a 1-2 together. But he always had that very hard style to figure out. People never realized that whatever he was doing up there was being complemented down there. Look at every single fight. He took that away that night. He took it away.
Yeah, I agree with Raw Boxing. Every time Lomachenko moved, Teofimo pivoted his move with him.
Correct.
And Teofimo stepped with the same movement. While he moved, Teofimo moved. So it put Lomachenko in a position where he couldn't get himself into the groove.
Yeah, and you know what? I also give, as much as I want to give credit to Teo, I want to give his credit to his father.
Yeah.
That's their game plan. That shows high boxing IQ right there. No one could have done that to Loma, right? If Lomachenko would fight with somebody right now, he would have beat all those 135 fighters, except for who? Except for Teo.
Correct.
Hey, I gotta go, man. Smash the like button. It's been an amazing show, Raw Boxing TV.
Appreciate you, my brother.
We appreciate you. We like you bringing different content and bringing it to us. And because you're a boxing channel and you keep it real, we all gonna support you, my brother.
I appreciate it, man.
And we're out of it, man. And let's everybody support Raw Boxing TV. Smash the like button, subscribe, and you know what I mean, Transcendent Sports. And also, Edwin, when you get a channel, we'll fucking support you as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you,
right, my brother.
Hey,
I gotta go, my brother. Peace out to the chat.
Thank you, Rapstar. Be
God
good.
bless you all.
The same here.
When you're doing the next commentary for the legend fights, Raw TV.
I will be. You know, it's probably going to be next Sunday. I will put it out. I'll announce it a day in advance, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, man, I had fun. I had fun with the.
Oh, that was fun. No, yeah, that's how I'm asking, boss. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And thanks for letting me answer the question, man. That was an awesome experience. I was super nervous, but man, thanks, man.
Hey, no problem, man.
Really appreciate that. You guys make it look so easy, man.
Yeah, we're gonna keep doing that, man. I just thought of that idea, and again, I get a lot more excited when just thinking that you guys will have the chance to ask these questions. I got big names cooking. Hopefully, they come to fruition with these fighters. You never know. I'll just tell you this: if the name that we're working on comes to fruition and comes to this channel, the one thing I'm going to do when I get that initial phone call with him to prepare the show, the one thing I'm going to do that night, the only thing I'm going to do is introduce him, translate. I will not ask a single question. I'm going to allow everybody to join in, and all of the questions will come from you guys, and it's going to come. I can't say the name. I just can't.
Ooh, it sounds like a big name there, brother.
It's a huge.
But thank you, man. Really appreciate that.
It's a mega name.
Thank you, Raw Boxing. I gotta go too, buddy.
All right, man. Hey guys, anytime that you see me here after I'm done decompressing, feel free to ask for the link. I want to appreciate everybody that has been here, that has stuck with me through this life. Thank you for those that took part in the question sections with Sanchez. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Activate the notification bell. Raw Boxing TV. Until next time. And we out. Be good, Edmund.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Transcendent. Take care. Everybody subscribe to Transcendent Sports.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. On to the next.